Hi guys, welcome back to the 3 Points Podcast. I'm your host Luke, joined today with
Mark, as always, man.
and we have a special guest on today, don't we?
A United fan.
Introduce yourself, big man Liam. Go on.
G'day guys, I'm Liam, and yeah, I'm a United fan.
Awesome.
Get around
Welcome
it.
to the show, Liam.
Welcome to the show.
You've heard us speak about Liam. On
Yeah,
the
he's
past
been mentioned a couple
episodes,
times.
and he's finally on the show.
We finally dragged him down here,
Finally
didn't we?
dragged him on, and he's going to be on next week as well, previewing the Arsenal United game. But this week he's on previewing
He's on for the
the
Man U Chelsea game.
United game.
But before we jump into things, guys, quick apologies. Last episode, as you guys can tell this episode, my energy's a lot better. Last week I was very tired. I was not really in the mood. Premier League wasn't on, so I wasn't feeling my best.
And you just had a big shift at Latitude.
Yeah,
as well,
I
man.
did, to be fair. But then also we had another issue with the audio at the end. Hey, Mark, so if you
Yeah,
want to take
so-
that one there.
What happens with the show, we record it at night. Normally
Correct.
we finish about midnight.
Yep.
And then I go home. I end up spending most of the morning editing it. And I normally have it set for a premiere at 8 o'clock in the morning. But it normally finishes about 3. So I don't normally get to bed at 3. But when I uploaded it last week, it said, like, the music that you've chosen will be blocked in, like, 6 countries. So it's like, oh, fuck.
That's
so
because we didn't have anyone for
yeah,
music. So.
exactly. So I had to end up finding another bit of music, and I ended up having to like re-edit it again, spend another couple of hours. I didn't get to bed till 6.
This man grinds, by the way,
Yeah.
guys. He grinds.
And then once I was listening to it, and then I heard the music outro playing halfway through the end of the show, and I'm like, oh fuck, I completely cooked that. So based on that, we have now got we got actual intro music, our own intro music written, our own intro music written
I'm
by
hyped.
Brendan Gaspari.
Shout out, Brendan.
Shout out Brendan. That's a wicked tune, a wicked little instrumental, and yeah,
Actually, I'm so stoked with that. Hey.
Yeah.
That's honestly sick.
it's better that we don't just have like some generic.
Yeah, it's not
free
just like
tune.
some like random
written
man. It's
for our
like
show,
for
man.
us, you know, a
Yeah.
little. But also some other shout outs we're to go through.
Yeah.
We've got quite a lot again this week, guys. So if you keep
Amanda,
showing
bro.
love to the podcast,
Mm.
you'll get your shout out. But
Yep.
this week, big love to Mom, Amanda, guys,
Amanda.
letting us record in the back.
Yep.
We do get noisy out here. And then another big shout out to my boy Ash Ray, checking out the podcast,
Yeah, I saw
showing
that
love.
comment.
Do you see the comment?
He's a United fan, isn't
Yeah, he is also a United fan. So if you're watching,
Top bloke.
Ash, big shout out to you,
Yeah.
brother.
And we also want to shout out everyone that views our Instagram story that
Yep.
doesn't follow us. We know that you check us
You're out there. You're
and,
looking at us.
You're looking at it. You're looking at it behind the scenes, and you know we can tell, but we don't. We just love the love.
It's like the window shop.
Yeah.
You know, you go past the windows and you're looking at all the clothes.
Yeah.
You're like, should I buy that? Nah.
So
but you
keep
still show
checking our
love.
story out. You don't have to follow us, but we notice you.
Anyway,
you
should
are.
we dive into this episode because we had
Yeah.
quite a big weekend, boys, didn't we? Well, I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, we
I
did.
got a bit fucked up on the weekend.
Some of us more than others.
Yes.
Yeah. So Luke came round to my house at about 5 o'clock.
Yeah, at
And
5,
you
but I
were-
was already maggot from a wine
You
tour.
were fucked. At
I was
mine,
fucked
and
up.
I'm like, oh man, you came out the back. You were playing FIFA at mine. You were playing Maz at FIFA.
I couldn't see straight, bro, and
And-
I was still beating people at FIFA.
You're yelling ref, and it's like 5 o'clock, and you're like, I'm sorry for being loud.
Yeah, and you
bro."
posted on your Instagram story, by the way. I saw that, and whoever voted Maz for the winning in the FIFA game, it's bullshit.
You beat him.
I beat him. So if you guys thought he was winning, no. Big facts out there. I won. But no, it was a good weekend. We watched I watched the second half of the Chelsea versus Southampton game.
Yeah,
live,
you end
'cause I
up
was
coming
already
back
out, yeah.
to mine somehow.
So I got the end of the first half, the last of the second. But before we get into all that stuff, all the Premier League action, we had our first indoor game on yesterday.
yeah, we had our first indoor game.
West
outdoor.
Ham under 13s. Yeah, it was outdoors.
It was
very
exciting,
weird.
boys, exciting.
What happened, Liam? Because we got kicked outside. Hey, so we're
Oh.
inside.
Look, it was our first game, and
Yeah.
not really what we expected. We thought we were going to be playing on like a basketball court or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yeah,
but
good
no.
old court 5. About 10 minutes before kickoff, they're like, "Oh yeah, no,
Now graduation.
on your
yeah?
bike outside."
What do you mean
Apparently, some
graduation?
kid's
Yeah,
got
we
to
get to the
graduate.
reception,
You
we
know?
pay, and we're still getting told it's out. I,
mean,
don't know. It was a
It's
shambles.
only the first week of the school term. Not sure if you graduating already.
It was a shambles, but we did play outside futsal, and the result, by the way, was 5-3.
Yep.
We did lose,
We took the
but
L.
we had a cracking assist from Liam here.
Yep.
Oh,
I banged in a hat trick, which Liam assisted.
mate.
you
Very
wanna-
good to see Luke score a hat trick.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
gas me
That
up, boys.
free kick was.
Yeah, you got to
fucking
gas me up
phenomenal,
right now
bro.
because Mans was
honestly-
banging in the goals.
That was wicked. Yeah, no, you guys played well. I came on in
Right.
the second half.
Mate,
Don't
don't hate on yourself. You played bloody great, bro. You
But,
played bloody great.
Yeah, I think you guys.
First game together as a team for a lot of us. You know.
Good,
But
exactly.
yeah, I want to quickly shout out. Obviously, Jordan and Owen, wicked defenders, but Elliot,
Elliot
who doesn't know all of us,
came from Ellenbrook as well.
yeah,
Big
came
ups.
from Ellenbrook. had a fucking wicked time in goal,
Yep.
and mad respect to Elliot. And
I
We're
honestly,
going to need him back.
yeah,
If you hear this,
exactly. Liam,
Elliot,
get him back,
we
please.
need you,
I
mate.
think we're gonna get him a helmet so he can emulate Petr Cech.
Petr Cech and goal.
Yeah, so
I
he
like
can
that.
just sit there and go with a helmet
I
on.
do like that. But nah, we had a good weekend. We had a good Tuesday. It's like, banged the hat trick. Didn't win the game, but we
Yeah.
went for beers after.
Paddy's,
Paddy's Malone.
good old Paddy's.
It was actually a good day. You met
Yeah.
a fellow Chelsea fan in there, didn't you?
Yeah, in the toilet. I was having
Yeah.
a piss, and some Chelsea fan decided to have a conversation with me about Arsenal and Chelsea and Willian. And
Said he liked Arteta, right?
yeah, he said he liked us.
I think everyone vouches
I think
for him at the
everyone-
moment. Let's
Everyone
be
kind of
honest.
likes Arteta, yeah. But yeah, what did you boys think of the Premier League this weekend, lads?
Premier League was insane.
It's
this
back.
week. It's back.
It's back.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, just the results. Obviously, we're going to cover the Liverpool drama with the offside, but we'll get into that. Well, first of all, I do want to start with my game because the Chelsea game I didn't watch live because I was out, but I came back
For the second half.
for the second half. But I did end up watching it after it was finished, and I rewatched the game mainly just because I wanted to see Chelsea play, but also for the podcast. And I got to say, honestly, like, for a game that we should have really took points from, like we should have had 3 points from, it feels like a loss.
Yeah.
Like, drawing that game 1-1 the way we did, and especially in the last minute of the game, like, it did hurt, but I just want to go through a couple points about that game. First of all, Werner, off the mark. Beautiful goals. Mate, that first goal he got, I think it was the first or second, it was the little chip over the keeper, little dink, and then a little finish with the head. Perfect. And then the second goal was just as good. And I think just seeing him get those first 2 goals really like settled my nerves a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like at the moment as a Chelsea fan, like we've had many strikers come into the side and flop.
Yeah.
Morata being one of them. Abraham did good last season but didn't really keep his consistency up. I can't even think of the other strikers on my head right now, but it's pretty much since Diego Costa left, we haven't had like a formidable striker.
Yep.
And I think Werner could be that person. Now you watched the game from the start.
Yeah, I did.
So how do you think we played?
I thought you guys, because you guys scored early.
We
didn't
scored
you?
early. We scored both
I
our
thought,
goals.
right, Chelsea gonna smack.
We were 2-0 up.
And I want to laugh, but I am feeling.
I respect it.
I am feeling sorry for Kepa as a human. I've seen that he's disabled in his comments.
I do
And
feel
all
sorry for
those
him.
goals you conceded were goalkeeping errors. And
It's
you
just
can
like
tell he's lacking confidence,
Yeah.
and I'm not surprised that Czech is now
yeah,
in the Premier League.
he's made our Premier League squad at 40. Oh no,
Do you wanna
38.
talk
Sorry.
about that?
Yeah, I'll talk about that quickly. So if you guys didn't see, the Premier League squads got announced last night, I believe. So you have to have 25 players. I think, is it 12 of them being homegrown, I think?
Yeah.
A certain amount of being homegrown players, which just means that they played in an English Premier League club for
Before
3
the age of
consecutive
21 or
seasons before
something?
the age of 21. Yep.
Yep.
So ours got announced, and surprisingly to every Chelsea fan, Petr Cech was listed.
Yeah.
Now, Lampard's come out and spoke about it. He's been listed as a non-contract player, and pretty much that just means that because of the COVID situation, it was very unlikely he will play, but if needed to, he's ready. He's been training with the keepers.
Yeah, apparently he's been training weekly with
yeah,
the keepers
well,
still.
to be honest, he's younger than Caballero, and this
Yeah.
is Petr Cech.
38 for a keeper isn't old.
Mate, it's not old. And these
Yeah.
stats, if you go look at his stats, I don't have them in front of me right now, but I think it's something like he played 400 games, had 200, I think it was like 200 clean sheets. So that's insane ratio.
It's insane,
50% clean sheet ratio.
Mm.
But I'll go back into the game because I do want to talk about the mistakes from Kepa because it's going on the keepers.
Kepa.
So we had the
Kepa.
first goal go in for us, and then we got the second one. It was 2-0. And then just before the brink of halftime, the worst place to concede a goal, by the way, for you that are casual football fans, the 2 worst places to concede a goal is the 90th minute, which we conceded in, and the 45 minute, which we conceded in.
Yep.
So it was right before the brink of halftime. Pretty much what happened, a ball was played back. Danny Ings beat Kepa. It was, to be fair, it was a defensive mistake from Kai Havertz, got dispossessed. It was then played through. Danny Ings, 1 touch around the keeper, finished. Nothing really, I don't blame Kepa for that goal. That could happen to any keeper in the league. It was a class finish from Ings, and you have to respect it. Now, the second goal. Now, this goal probably is the one that pissed me off the most. And I do believe the second goal was... I don't know if it's second or third right now, but the second goal... No, it was the second goal. Zuma, running back, plays a hospital pass straight back to Kepa. Now, I know a lot of people, especially me included, was hating on Kepa, yeah? But Zuma never ever should be playing past like that. And this is why
Yeah.
Chelsea keep losing. Like, it feels like a loss. I keep saying it's a loss because it is a loss. But I'm getting triggered right now talking about it.
Especially for my part as well. If you've got a keeper like Kepa who's low on confidence, to even
Why are you playing a ball back to him like that? You know he doesn't like those balls.
Yeah,
the ball's a shit ball back.
Yeah,
Cutthroat it was. Kepa doesn't deal with it. I understand. So some keepers come out on social media and defended Kepa and saying that he was trying not to get him to go down for the penalty.
Yeah.
Mate, he went out with his feet. You've got what happened? I'm sorry, but what happened to the old school keepers that would lunge at the ball, 2 hands on it, and not worry about getting booted in the face? Petr Cech, for example.
Yeah.
I know he got injured because of it, but that's what I call a keeper. You have hands. He's coming out with his feet, scuffs that. The ball then comes back, hits the post, makes a hash of it, to then go back and then just be a goal. I can't even get my words out right now. You can see how mad I am. Mark, for you guys, you can't see right now, but he's tapping me on the back. I'm triggered. And it got worse.
Mate, no.
It did get worse.
It's all right. Nothing like the other night, mate. You've been well behaved here today.
Dude, I had a rant, hey.
Yeah.
We should talk about that quickly. I had a rant, hey. Because I saw this
I'm pretty sure
live.
Luke woke my whole neighbourhood up.
Yeah, I saw this live. So
Screaming Kepa. Because we were out in the backyard and Luke then ended up proceeding to making a video about Kepa.
Yeah. Which, if
yeah,
you guys
but
want to see, we will post on the Instagram.
Yeah,
I've decided.
He was maggot at the time though, so
Yeah, I was a bit
take that into account.
intoxicated.
But Liam and I were just sitting there, just didn't know what to do.
The thing for me, right, in that situation there, so he comes out, he makes a hash of it, right? But it's when it comes back off the post and he doesn't seem to know what to do or do anything. It just ruined the whole thing for me. And then, anyway, we concede and it goes to the next goal. Was it 93rd minute volley?
I think so. Let me check.
Yeah, I think it was the 93rd minute. Yeah, so
double check that.
this one was a ball in from the box, a set piece. Oh, so before we skip ahead, Chelsea
90
did go.
seconds.
So Chelsea did go and score the third goal to make it 3-2. It was a good reply actually from Kai Havertz. It was a good reply from Kai Havertz, to be honest. Came down the wing. He also got his debut goal. So shout outs to Werner and Havertz, both getting debut goals.
Yeah.
Playing banging football, both of them linking up for that third goal. It was a sweat across from Werner. But the thing that really annoyed me was the fact that 3-2, we should see out the game.
Yep.
We made some substitutes, which I didn't really agree with at the time. But, I understand it. It's football. Subs need to happen. But 3-2, we then concede. The 93rd minute, ball gets crossed in. Volley, which Kepa, I think it took a header off. I'm not too sure. I think from when I watched it back, I couldn't really quite tell if it got a head on it, if it was straight from the volley. But I watched it back, and that is the save that a keeper needs to be making. It's a late reaction. He sees it late, but you've got to be saving those. And it's just, I don't have words for it. I understand the man's low on confidence as a human being, but this is football.
Yep.
And if you're not doing your job, you're going to get dropped, which Lampard, to cut ahead, guys, has come out now in the recent Champions League game and said Mendy's our starting goalkeeper. Thank fuck, finally. Because he kept backing Kepa in the press, and I understand why he's always going to back his players, and I respect that. But he's come out, finally cemented Mendy as a keeper, and then to see Cech come in, I mean, come on, boys. As Kepa right now, you must be feeling a type of way.
Former Chelsea and Arsenal goalkeeper, Petr Cech.
Yeah, oh, God.
Mate. But, no, honestly,
it's just these games, and Mark,
honestly, you're not even in. Are you still in the Carabao Cup? No, you're not.
No, we got knocked
so
out.
I'd even think about not even playing Kepa to the FA Cup if you get early, decent rounds like they normally do with the cup competitions.
It's just
you need to find a way to regain his form and confidence without dropping points and jeopardising your league. And,
it's a must. These games are must-win games if we want to.
Yeah.
Up throughout the season, we want to climb the table. So to send it over to you guys real quickly, Liam. If this is United, this is De Gea. Is he getting dropped? So if De Gea's making the mistakes Kepa's making, is he getting dropped?
I think you'd have to.
You'd have to drop him.
I mean, look, you don't want to put that bad confidence on your keeper.
Exactly.
But you want the result.
You need the win,
And
the 3 points, and we're losing points
I watched
because
that
of
second half of that game, and I can say that
shocking.
His mistakes let you down. I mean, granted, I think Zuma was more at fault for this.
Yeah, I do agree with that as well, to be honest. It was a bad hospital ball back. But it's games for teams like United this season, for teams like Chelsea, for teams like Arsenal. These are must-win games. These are games that will send you up the table, top 4, that we're all wanting to finish in.
Yep.
And it's just, it didn't happen. It was a tie, 3-3. And I've got the stats for you guys, by the way, just to show you that we didn't even play that well. So we had 11 shots, 5 on target to Southampton's 13 shots to 6 on target, with 54% possession going towards Chelsea, and then 46% obviously towards Southampton. But those stats there they worry me a little bit because it's just the defensive errors. Yeah. Because like we're conceding a lot this season, and it's a week in, week out. Now, if it wasn't for the Champions League game that just happened where we played an outstanding game, which we'll talk about later, but the defense of this season is worrying me. And I understand people questioning about Rudiger being left out of the squad, but he has come out and spoke to The Athletic and said that he's happy staying at Chelsea. There's no beef. He chose to stay at the club. He got offered to go on loan spells. He denied it. He wants to work harder and get himself back in the squad. Now, for maybe you casual fans or people that don't really follow Chelsea the way I do, Rudiger's never been a good player for us. Never been that solid. He's been good, but he's never been consistent. Neither has Zuma, neither has Christensen.
Wasn't he the one that costed you guys a goal in the cup final?
Yeah, he's cost us a lot of penalties as well. Yeah, he's cost a lot of penalties as well. So I just feel like Rudiger for us isn't a fit. Isn't someone that we can just slot in there to fix our defensive woes.
Think he'd be a good bench player?
Yeah, I think Rudiger is a player. I don't think he's a bad player. I would love to see him alongside...
but he won't take you to that
next
step.
He's not that next level player. I would love to see him alongside Silva to see how that link-up is. But right now we have 2 French players. Well, not French, but he played in PSG for a while, so he speaks quite fluent French. So and Zuma being French as well, that link-up with Silva and Zuma at the back, I prefer over Christensen. Like, I've got written down here in my little notes, like, I do not like the Zuma-Christensen partnership at the back.
Yeah.
It's just... You saw it on the weekend. It's just no one's the leader at the back.
Yeah.
Who's leading that back four?
Yeah. It's mental, but also not just that game. You look at all the results recently, and it's not just this week, it's every week this season. There's always been these comebacks, these upsets, and I still put it down to the crowds not being there.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
Like how often would you see Tottenham up 3-0 at half time, and then they're getting a comeback and all that sort of stuff? Liam's got his hand up. He wants to say something. Go on, Liam.
Sorry, I'm still new to this, boys.
It's all right. It's all
right.
Just one thing I wanted to add, Luke. You saying about poor defense. I found a stat this afternoon. It's been 46 games played so far this year in the Premier League. 171 goals scored across 46 games. It's an average of 3.72
goals a game.
That's mental.
That's mental.
And I found
when you're saying about the defensive problems,
it's for everybody.
Everyone's having it.
Yeah.
I've got a stat for you as well that came out today. United have had as many penalties this season so far than Arsenal had in all of last season.
Oh my God. Bruno Fernandes missed as well. We'll talk about that later.
Now, obviously, I just want to ask you a question. Do you think, as a United fan, that you guys tend to get favourable penalties? Because it's not just us. It would be Chelsea doesn't get as many penalties. Liverpool.
I ain't saying no.
but what do you think? Do you sometimes look at some of the penalties and you go, yeah, that's well deserved? That's a bit...
Or do you believe every single penalty you've got is deserved? And you can be honest, remember. Be honest.
We were at your house when...
the
Brighton one, yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, the Brighton one was not fair.
Hey, there we go.
Was the penalty there? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It was a handball.
Yeah.
It was after the whistle, wasn't it?
Yeah. That you're talking about the Fernandes and the 110 minute, whatever the fuck it was.
Full time.
Yeah.
Full time had gone. I thought it was over, but as far as I'm aware, that's game over.
Yeah.
No, fair
it
play.
is. That I just feel like
if the whistle goes, that's the end of the game.
I just feel like Man United with their penalty season has been.
I think there's always a couple iffy ones.
Yeah.
It's always hard to tell.
We can sit here and argue about that all day.
Literally, yeah, because any club's going to defend. Like I would personally, if I was Chelsea and we were getting all these penalties, I would defend it. I would say we deserve them.
Yeah.
I understand why Man United fans would back their penalties, because at the end of the day, if they're getting fouled in the box, they're getting fouled in the box.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty tough, I mean, I'm not sure if it's a tactic thing, if that's something that we're trying.
My opinion is I'm pinning it down to VAR. VAR's
obviously,
penalties left, right, and centre, and no, I wasn't saying that in disrespect to United, but already this season having that many penalties, look back at all of them are VAR decisions practically. The ref never now just blows the whistle straight away. It's now let's check VAR, like back in those days.
But we will. We actually
are. As you guys say quite often, VAR is just changing football.
It is, and that's what we spoke about
worse,
this. We spoke about this in the first episode.
Yeah,
and it's still, boys, it's still happening.
Yeah.
And we're going to cover it later because it's going to be a big talking point in that Liverpool game. But
Yeah.
I just want to sum up this game quickly because
Go
I have to give Southampton their praise.
Sum
Right?
up the game one word, but do your own sum up. But what would be the one word to describe that game?
Shambolic.
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 Good word.
That'd be my one word for that. But
Yeah.
I just want to give a quick shout out to the Southampton team because you got a result against us. It's not a bad team. They've got James Ward-Prowse, Danny Ings, people like
Walcott,
Shea Adams, Walcott. Like Shea Adams, by the way, former Birmingham player. Dad called me.
Shout out Big John.
Big John called me live. Well, actually after the game, and he was giving me a bit of stick because Shea Adams set up the assist and then for the free kick, and then he's also got a goal as well. So it was one of those things for us where it was just like, not our day. But we'll move on to the next game. Now I'm going to pass it over to you because I want you to take it.
Me?
Yeah, the Arsenal-Man City game.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that one.
Look, although I predicted us to win, I still expected us to lose. I predicted that with my heart. We ended up losing 1-0. I'm glad that we lost in that sense that it was 1-0, considering it's a rebuild against a City side that's still leaps and bounds better than us. I wouldn't have been surprised if we'd have lost 2 or 3-0 going into that game because that's just a typical Arsenal performance. But I think we went out too defensively. We went out set up too.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, we were in such a defensive mind that when we got the ball forward, we kind of didn't know what to do.
Because I've got a little bit of stats for you that I wrote down because I didn't watch the game live because I was in bed by then.
Yeah.
Mans was still drunk,
Yeah.
so I passed out. But I did have some stats, and this made me back me up because I watched the game as well after. But the stats that I saw and in the game showed is the possession again for City. We know they dominate possession, but 59% to 41.
Yeah.
It just shows that Arsenal really came out quite defensive-minded.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and I don't blame Arteta for doing that because obviously how far behind we are with City in terms of the rebuild, what players we want to get. But if you look at like past seasons, going to the Etihad with Arsenal, you're expecting to get smashed. One thing I want to say, and even Liam noticed it because he was watching at my house, Saka, what a phenomenal player.
Yeah, actually he's a banging player.
He was.
Is he 19?
19 years old, and he was.
Is he? Where does he play?
He plays either left wing back or left wing.
Because I was going to say he played left back.
He was playing left wing back, and he was, he was probably our most creative player on that pitch, and that's with players like Pepe, Aubameyang, Willian in there. And Saka's going to be one for the future, and he was.
He's a good player.
He was causing problems against City's defence.
Yeah, I actually do rate him a lot.
But yeah.
But yeah, no. Where did he start on the weekend? Did he play?
Left wing back. He started, and he was. He was the only one that was going forward and wanting to do something.
Give him that to actually create something. Yeah.
And
you are missing Ozil quite a bit.
We are missing Ozil.
But I know the work rate. You've told me multiple times behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Well, as well, I was reading Mertesacker did a podcast. I don't know how genuine it is. But he said that he's played with Ozil in 3 different teams.
So he's played with quite a lot.
Quite a lot. And he says that one thing that he notices that is probably why he doesn't get in the team is also because he's got a wife and kid now, and maybe his focus isn't on football anymore.
It's fair enough to say.
But he says he doesn't know. Speaking of that, I will get up that quote that Ozil made that you boys probably didn't hear. So Ozil wasn't put in the Premier League
not in the
squad.
25. So if you're not announced that 25-man squad, correct me if I'm wrong, but can you not play in the season?
You can. I think they resubmit you after January.
Oh, so you have to wait till
you're
probably not going to play it all.
But yeah, Ozil's been left out the Europa League and the Premier League squad, and he made this quote. This is a
World Cup winner, by the way.
Yeah, this is a difficult message to write to the Arsenal fans that I've played for over the past few years. I'm really deeply disappointed by the fact that I've not been registered for the Premier League season for the time being. Upon signing my new contract in 2018, I pledged my loyalty and allegiance to the club that I love, Arsenal, and it saddens me that this has not been reciprocated, as I've just found out loyalty is hard to come by nowadays. I've always tried to remain positive from week to week, that there's maybe a chance to get back in the squad soon again. That's why I kept silent so far. Before the coronavirus break, I was really happy with the development under our new coach, Mikel Arteta. We've been on a positive way, and I would say my performances were on a really good level. But then things change again, and I was no longer allowed to play football for Arsenal. What else can I say? London still feels like a home. I still have many good friends in this team, and I still feel a strong connection with the fans of this club. No matter what, what? I will keep fighting for my chance and not let my 8th season at Arsenal end like this. I can promise you that this hard decision won't change anything in my mindset. I will continue to train as best I can and wherever possible, use my voice against inhumanity and for justice.
This has to be a deeper issue.
It's got to be
This
the board.
has to be the
It's gotta
board.
be the board.
This has to be the board.
I think we all know as Arsenal fans, the board is stingy.
Yeah.
We've got a player there that's on 350k a week that I have to put on Ivan Gazidis for putting him on that contract, our former CEO.
It's not his fault. Not Ozil's fault.
Yeah, they gave him the contract.
He signed it. That's all
You
he
know,
did.
the club gave him the contract, and yeah, the coronavirus hit people, and you know the clubs are like, you know, but we're Arsenal. We're not some League Two side or anything like that. They can't afford these wages.
Yeah.
You know, we still went out and spent 45 million on Partey.
Yeah.
And we went out and bought these players.
It's not like, yeah.
It's not as if we don't sell or if we don't like get Ozil to come off this contract, the club's going to go into shambles. You know what I mean? So it's
It is a madness.
It's madness.
Like, but sorry to touch on that quote quickly from Ozil. Like, that has made me like, honestly, like, as like a Chelsea fan, I feel him. Like, I feel for him.
Yeah.
Like, imagine train like, and this is from his word, guys. I don't see behind the scenes, but I'm just going off his word. If he says he's training hard and he's been pushing, and you told me before, Mark, as well, and on the podcast, that before COVID he was getting played.
Yep.
So I
think it's a pay cut.
Something's happened that behind the scenes, because Arteta, he dodges. I watch all the press conferences for a lot of
He's
the teams.
clever about it.
He's so clever. He's so articulate with the way he words himself and the way he presents each argument about it. Now, I don't know why this has happened. It has to be the board, but at the same time, do you think he will play for your club again?
I don't think
Big
so.
question.
I'd like to see him play once more, but I don't think so. I think because of what he's done for the club, he's played for us for 8 years. He deserves that one more time.
One more game,
to
like
play. But if he's left out of all the squads, I don't know. I can't see him playing. But whatever happens at the end of the day, for myself as an Arsenal fan, I've got to thank him. I see people on Facebook, I've genuinely seen people on Facebook saying, leave our club, you're toxic, we should never have signed you in the first place.
Mate, he's probably best friends with half the fucking squad.
Exactly, and also people forget that we were having a 9-year trophy drought, and when Arsene Wenger signed him, the season after, he took us to an FA Cup win. Season after that, he took us to an FA Cup win. He scored some banging goals.
There you go.
So just because, yeah, maybe his form dipped towards the last couple of years and he's on a high contract, doesn't mean we just forget about everything that he's done towards the beginning of his career for us.
Yeah.
You know, he left Real Madrid to come play for us when we still weren't winning.
Yeah, you guys weren't like,
You know?
no disrespect,
Yeah.
but you guys weren't at Real Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. And I genuinely think he was a perfect Wenger player, and Wenger and him were quite
Suited,
close.
yeah, he suited that system.
Wenger was a team that didn't really like to sprint around. When they get the
that
ball,
fancy
they controlled
passing,
the
yeah,
ball.
it was nice
And
tiki-taka football.
I don't think Urs was that player to sprint up and down, track back. He was waiting for that ball, and then when he got that ball, he was just creative, and he just made chances. And
sorry to cut you off,
Mm.
because I do want to go back to the City Arsenal game.
Yep.
And this all links back, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So do you think having Ozil on the weekend against City would have made a difference?
No,
No?
I don't.
You don't
so,
think he would have
because
created anything? Because to
The
me, it
part-
looked like you lacked creativity in that middle
Yeah.
part. There was a breakdown somewhere, because to me it feels like when I watch Arsenal play, when they play well, I'm always like, oh, imagine if they had Ozil right now.
Yeah.
Because just that little touch of class. But then again, I don't watch him week in, week out. And after hearing Mertesack's comments, maybe he doesn't have the work rate that suits Arteta's
Yeah.
style.
When Ozil was playing first team football, every time we played a Big Six side, he'd go missing.
Yeah.
He'd go missing. And actually, when he was a first team player, towards the end of when he started, like Emery came in, every time we versed a Big Six, he'd be on the bench, regardless.
Yeah.
He'd only play against teams that weren't going to be quite, like attacking, threatening sort of thing, So I don't think he would have made a difference. However, that doesn't stop him from coming off the bench when, it's the 70th minute and we're still 1-0 down and everyone's tired.
Yeah.
And he comes on fresh legs to create something. Could he come on in first 11 and have the work rate against City when you have players like Mahrez, Sterling, and all that?
That's true.
Aguero?
Yeah, I get you.
But perfect for his age, for his abilities, a perfect super sub against the top six. The other teams, he's perfect. He plays so good against the sides aren't as good as the big clubs.
Yeah.
You know, I think he still has that. If he is doing what he says, training well, and he still has that.
Still has
ability,
that chance to
he's-
push the
Yeah, he
squad.
still has a massive chance in this team. But he's not
I
like.
just miss seeing him.
Yeah,
I do
it's
miss him.
weird, you know. But he was playing in the friendlies before pre-season.
That's
He was
what
playing behind
confuses me,
closed
though.
door friendlies. So the ones that we televised, he wasn't involved in the
But
squad.
he was in the. So that's what makes
You
it
know,
feel like it's a
so
board.
when I saw that, I was like, maybe, like, why are you putting him in a friendly if you're not going to play
Play
him?
him in
You
the
know what I
action.
mean?
Yeah, because
So-
you normally use friendlies to kind of
Yeah.
adjust what squad you want to use.
Yeah,
you know.
and I thought maybe there is a chance for him to come back this season. You know, maybe they've hashed things out. It's a new season, fresh start.
Yeah.
But no, nothing changed.
Now I got another question for you
Go
about
on.
the game.
Yep.
So, Pep came out. I think it was a post match, and he credited Arsenal, and he said that you guys were title contenders. In a post match conference, not my words, his words.
Yeah.
He said, Arteta's squad's title contending squad. So to get that result was a big result for him, which it is against Arsenal. I would take a 1-0. But with them having Aguero back and which is everything that went on in that game, do you believe in his comments? Do you think that Pep's saying it to undermine Arteta maybe to say to him, I don't know, like I just feel like sometimes I'm not sure if the love's still there between them or if it's more just, I don't know, is it a love thing?
Yeah, it could just be a bit of respect for him.
Yeah, is it respectful just because they like that? Because, you know, Pep did obviously train and coach up Arteta. So is he saying that as like a respect thing to Arteta because he trained him up and he knows Arteta's a good coach and that's why he thinks they're title contenders? Or is it more of like a little, am I clutching at straws here, but is it more of like a little jab of like, yeah, you're title contenders, but...
We're definitely
Still
dark
lost.
horses, but distant dark horses.
So you don't think you're title contenders?
We could.
I knew you couldn't say no.
We
You believe
no,
it,
we
low-key.
could, but no. This season is not for us to
Win the league.
win the league.
And I do
will
agree with
judge
that. I think for most like Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, we're not
Like-
expecting. Well, maybe we are.
Yeah,
'cause
like
we've
I said
signed
from
so many
episode 1,
players.
our ambitions is top 4. But if you have a look at how the league is going,
Yeah.
you've got people like Villa, Everton. You've got people like Liverpool, City. All these teams are dropping points and having unexpected wins. Anyone's title contenders. At the moment, no, we're not title contenders, but who knows what could happen in this league.
Yeah.
I think we're still in that. We're still only a few points at this point of the season. We could win the league. It's not like mathematically.
Yeah,
impossible.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I get what Guardiola's saying because Arsenal has changed under Arteta,
Yep.
and if we just grinded out the performances against the smaller oppositions,
Yep.
we maybe pick up a couple wins against the Big Six. You never know where we finish. It depends what the other teams around us doing. Last season, Liverpool was win, win, win. City was win, win, win. Liverpool draw, loss already. You know, so anyone's title contenders right now. Even Tottenham fans are talking about them. being title contenders right now.
And we got that question coming up.
So distant dark horses, yeah. No, I put that against with Chelsea. I put that against with United.
Yeah.
We're all distant dark horses, but I know, and I've said from episode 1, if we finish top 4, that's a good season for us.
So do you reckon Arteta is taking Arsenal to the right places? Do you think he's taking you guys on the right path?
Yep, I
Right
think.
journey?
Yeah, I think top 4 this season. Next season is when we should be challenging for the title.
Awesome.
No, and when I mean challenging, I don't mean like. I want us to finish within 8 or 9 points from top.
Okay.
Even if we finish second, if we finish third, I don't want to see us 20 points different.
You don't
Or
want that
15
smack
point,
like
you know?
where we're not even getting close.
I want
yeah.
us to finish in the top 4 spot and then have that money to be able to attract these higher profile players in Europe, and end up being a better team. Yeah. 100%. But that's a good question, man.
No, I did want to ask that. So that game pretty much summed up. It was a 1-0 win to City.
Yep.
Arsenal not looking bad, not looking amazing.
Yep.
Fair to say. I think it was
Yeah.
just a very.
So we've had 3 wins and
I think
2
it was one of
losses.
those performances where you were not upset about it because
Yeah.
to be fair, a side like City having Aguero back, it's a result you would
Yeah.
take. But
And if you think about last season, all the defensive jokes we had.
yeah, mate,
haven't
that's,
really
that's
been,
one goal,
you know,
and to be fair, the
and-
goal was a good goal. It was Sterling banged that. Like, there's not
Exactly.
really you can do against that.
And with Liverpool as well, although we lost 3-1, we were in that game to the 80th minute. I'm just glad now that we're not being beaten in the first half, and that's it.
Easy.
Like we used to be. Like first half, it was like, let's not concede any more
Yeah,
goals. Let's
we
not
don't
get
banged
embarrassed
like
here.
6-0 in
You
the
know,
first half,
it's
yeah.
like maybe we might nick a goal here. But Lacazette was on the bench, which was interesting. And one thing I do have to question was William was playing centre forward striker.
Yeah, he so
make sense.
he never and he, I've never. Well, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but my time watching Chelsea, I've never seen him play up front.
Yeah, so he was playing up front. When the graphic came up of who was playing, it was William on the left, Aubameyang in the middle, and Pepe on the right. But when you were watching the game, William was in the middle, and it's like, you know, what's going on here? And he had a poor game, but that was...
This is what I'm talking about with like that. No, hey, on William, but he's inconsistent.
Yeah, I've never seen him play down the middle, but maybe Arteta was trying a tactic out that he tried out in training. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess it's a lesson learned. We got to remember, it's only been his, second year. He hasn't even been managing for a year. He's learning things. And, yeah, I mean, we move, we go forward, and we've got Leicester on next weekend. So.
And talking about moving, we'll move on to the next game.
Which one's that?
That is the Man United Newcastle game. So, Liam, you can take this one. So, you first of all, tell us the result. What was the result?
The result was 4-1. So
fuck, man, it makes you so angry still listening to that,
Very nice to be back on the winners list in the Premier League.
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions quickly.
Let's go
we'll get into our preview for our game later, but how did you feel about the performance first of all? Do you feel like you guys played well?
I think we were better.
Yeah,
I think the communication down back seemed better.
Seemed more organised?
Yeah, I mean, apart from the own goal in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, when I watched this game back, that was shambolic.
That was a bit embarrassing when I watched it first. I thought we'd scored. I didn't notice until afterwards.
That's what I want to say.
Off.
So
Liam, so embarrassing.
This is the same night that Luke was at mine watching the Chelsea game. So Liam's at mine playing Ultimate Team, FIFA, and he had his phone watching the United game, and it was like on mute sort of thing, and I heard Liam sit next to me. He's like, "Get in, yes, we scored." And I'm like, oh shit, what's the minute? It's like 40 seconds, and then he's like, a minute later, he's like, oh, what? Oh, Luke Shaw scored an own goal? Oh, no, we're losing 1-0. I was like, oh, shit,
fucking
bro.
dickhead.
So he got hyped up.
Fucking dickhead.
He was like, I saw Shaw pass it in, and I thought, but...
My man's looked over briefly and thought,
hey! I'm just going to head out now. It's worse reliving that moment than being in it, to be honest.
But you did come back.
You got the W, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you guys did come back. So who scored your goal? Was it Rashford, I think?
So we had Maguire scored the first one in the first half, and then we kicked, I think Bruno got the first.
Yeah, Bruno scored.
He got the second.
Yeah.
And that was in the 86th minute.
Yeah.
And then, Wan-Bissaka got one. First goal for the club in his 50th game as well.
Hey.
So that was nice. And then, Rashford got another one in stoppage time, 4-1. So
this reminds me
finished strong. I mean, throughout the game, I'm pretty sure we had 28 shots to...
Yeah, stats were dominant.
7.
I did see this as well.
Yeah.
Dominated the stats.
Yeah, and that definitely came across in the game, watching it back.
Did it feel like a very attacking performance?
It felt we were going for goals.
Yeah.
I mean, the communication seemed better down back, which was nice, but as soon as we got it kind of past that halfway point, we were kind of like, we're having a crack here.
Yeah, it was like we're going in. Because I saw Rashford making a lot of runs, and that's what I like about him.
The work rate of the boys in the middle, Bruno Fernandes, I don't know where we'd be without him.
Oh, he is a baller.
He works hard in that game. He had a missed penalty in that game. He had a disallowed goal in that game.
And didn't he still score?
He just keeps tucking on, keeps going.
Yeah.
Still got a goal.
And I'm
working hard.
I'm going to defend United here for a second, because the week before you played Newcastle, didn't you? Yeah, the week before you guys lost to Spurs 6-1, right?
I didn't want to talk about that.
What I want to say, what I want to say here now is that you guys were still in the game up until you got that sending off. Whether you would have won it or not, it was 2-1, and then afterwards Tottenham just ended up scoring. So
I mean, and that's the thing that shifts your whole tactics.
Exactly. And I genuinely think that everyone was paying out on you guys too much for what had happened with the event, sort of having like 10 men against Tottenham. You don't have much of a chance. So it's good to see that with 11 players you've gone and you've beaten Newcastle, which might not seem big, but it is big, because considering you've dropped points already to a lot of clubs this season,
some big,
and you've gone and beat PSG. So
I think the fact more was that we played a dominant performance.
Yeah.
We played confident.
Yeah.
Last week's done, it's gone. We lost to Spurs. It happens.
Yeah.
You move,
we
yeah.
put
You
that
you
behind us,
drop
we're
that.
like, all
From,
right.
yeah, they drop that from the memory and they've come out.
Yeah.
Let's go out there. Let's show them what we're about, you know.
Exactly.
Now I got a question
And
for
that
you.
was really positive to see.
I've got a big question for you, right? So, Maguire. Recently, shambolic. I love that word today.
Yeah.
That's my word of the day.
Shambolic,
Shambolic.
that's
That's my word of the day.
Luke's word of the week.
But yeah, word of the week. I like that. Should we do that every episode? Word of the week.
Yeah, word of the
I
week.
like that. Anyway, so Maguire, my dad actually asked, and he asked about the England squad, right? But he did redeem himself. He bagged himself a goal. But how was his? Because I didn't watch the game. How was his performance in the game? I watched the highlights, the 25-minute highlights, but I didn't watch the actual full game. So how did he defend? Was he back organised, or was he still a bit wobbly, or how did you feel he played?
Yeah, look, a few moments where he could have been a bit more.
Yeah, a bit assertive.
But
Yeah.
I think what I noticed more has been set pieces. He's been a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, he's a pretty big dude. If he
Yeah,
gets
he's
in
meant to be
right
the one
spot, he's
getting
gonna
his
stop
goals
it,
in,
you
which
know?
he did do on the weekend. But before that, he was
Yeah.
getting.
worked up front, obviously.
I wish you had
I think,
last
yeah,
episode
just-
about Spurs game, eh?
Yeah, just when he had the chance to get set, he was.
Yeah.
And I found that really positive.
Because in the Spurs game, obviously, you watched him tackle his own player in the box. So when you're watching that game, I know it's not the Newcastle game, but were you then like, fuck me? Like, were you worried? Were you like honestly worried about what you were gonna do?
Was I? What?
Yeah, about Maguire. Were you like, damn, like this player is meant to be was it 80 million pounding?
Yeah.
80 million pound signing for
Yeah,
Fridge?
I looked through this the other day. I think he's like our second or third most expensive player that we've ever brought.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Our ninth or 10th most expensive was Rio Ferdinand.
Oh my god.
And he was at
the
about
levels,
30,
yeah.
35 million.
Yeah, that's just
And
the
he- and
difference
he-
in inflation.
I mean, he
though.
was in a different squad,
Time,
but you
yeah.
know,
I've got three things I want to ask. I've got three things I want to ask you.
still.
And this is not about United Newcastle. This is about United PSG. There's
Still-
three things I want to say. Top comment is De Gea is back, and I saw the highlights for the United PSG game. He made some fucking good saves, man.
He did.
I'm telling you, mate, that was a pretty tough game.
Yeah,
I think it was 63% to PSG.
Yeah.
64%.
second.
So they had the ball, but David's back, and he made a few big saves. I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw the one against Newcastle on the weekend, but
yeah,
that was
Well, because
he saved it going back, diving back, tapped it out.
yeah. Second top comment. Axel Twanzebe, I don't know his name, but he came in as centre half and apparently
he played really well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently he
He's,
played really
Now,
well.
what is he, a youngster or?
Yeah.
Because everyone was saying
Come
Phil
through.
Jones is going to play,
Ah.
but he's come in and he's pulled off like a man of the match, which is good. You know?
Look, man, it's again. I think we're very lucky. I think we've got a few academy players coming through.
Yeah,
I mean, we're obviously seeing what Rashford does now.
yeah,
You know,
baller.
he's
I've written
he's
down on my
22.
notes. In my notes right here,
Greenwood's
Rashford.
coming in.
Just marks and vouch
Yeah.
for me. Rashford, a baller.
Yep,
Legit,
100%.
mate. That guy's
That
class.
goal that he scored against PSG, didn't he as well?
Yeah, and he scored against
Yeah,
Newcastle
he-
as well.
man.
Yep.
Scored a
And-
banger against
Banger,
Newcastle as
87th
well.
minute
Yeah.
to win the game.
Yeah.
And the top comment, and I want to know what you think about this. Harry Maguire, man of the match for not playing
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
against PSG. What do you
Look,
do? You
that's-
rate? Do you have
That's
rate
a bit
Maguire?
rough, but I think
Rough.
I think PSG played really well, and that's why I think De Gea was man in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he wasn't out there, it could
But
have been a
do you,
different
do you
story.
rate Maguire? Do you think Maguire is worth 80 million as well? And do you think like he's just out of form, or because I mean towards the end of last season we went to Crown and we saw the semi-final Chelsea United, and people were sledging Maguire back then. He got sent off for England.
I think what you've got to take into account as well is a bit of the off-field stuff. I mean, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole.
He wrestler, didn't he?
Yeah, and where was
Yeah,
it?
that's
You know
not
who I
my
am,
best,
I'm Harry-
but,
yeah, Greece. He's
Greece,
like, you know who I
yeah.
am, I'm Harry Maguire. I'll pay you any money to get
Yeah,
me
I
out of
love
it.
that. Mans was on the old cat. That's what it
You
was.
know, so I mean, when you've got your name out there in the media, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's maybe even the same as Ozil for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, when everyone's chatting about you in the
yeah.
media, and
No,
it's not
yeah, that's fair
it's not
enough.
necessarily
Yeah.
positive stuff. It's sometimes pretty brutal, if I may say so. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I am going to buy it
personally,
quickly.
my confidence would be down.
I was going to buy in because I was going to talk about confidence as well. But before I'm going to fully button here, I'm going to bring it back to the Newcastle game.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to talk about Newcastle quickly because we've touched on Man United. We understand they played really well, great result. But let's not kid. Newcastle played shit. Like, really, like, they had a couple good chances. But overall, like, I did rate them at the start of the season. But I watched True Geordie and he came out and he spoke about them. And he's a big Newcastle fan. He's a fellow YouTuber. Big ups him. But he's, like... I feel like since they didn't get the takeover, which the Premier League, mate, that's a whole other story about the Premier League being so bad with the communication. But they haven't got the takeover. They signed some players, Wilson, and, you know, they have St. Maxim and all that. But I just feel like there was no game plan. So I felt like that result, this is before I was... the PSG game happened. But I, as a United fan, I wouldn't have been that gassed. I would have been happy that it was a 4-1 and it would have made me happy. But at the same time, I wouldn't have been like over the moon.
I mean, it's more...
I know that Newcastle did score first,
you know?
but it was more like that goal was an own goal from Shaw. It was a ball whipped in and Shaw tipped it on.
If we want to be one of the big six clubs...
Yeah.
You got to be beating us all.
You got to beat teams.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
I think that is... It's a good result, though, nonetheless. Yeah.
I think more the fact that I don't think everyone's really hyped about it. It's more the fact that, you know.
So do you think
we needed to respond?
Yeah. So do you think,
and we did.
So you think United's back then? They beat PSG. They beat Newcastle. Are they back? Is Ole back at the wheel?
The PSG result is big.
Yeah.
Because I did not say in the car. I said before. By the way, guys, if you guys don't know, on the Tuesday, in the car,
Paddy's. No, we're Paddy's.
Paddy's, but no, but it was before Paddy's.
Yeah.
Because we were in the car on the way back from Joondalup, and I asked Liam. No, you asked me. You said, "Do you think that they will beat them?" And I said, knowing Ole, he always gets these fucking weird ass big team wins. But then I changed my mind at Paddy's. I did change my mind. I said 3-1 originally, but then I changed it.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. It's frustrating when you know you have the potential to beat a team like PSG.
That is weird,
you
man. Like, you beat a team like PSG.
Yeah.
Like, name
four
fucking
clubs.
Champions League
The
finalists.
second best team in Europe, you got to consider them that.
Yeah.
And you've gone and beaten them.
Beat
That's
and,
good.
And you know what? Credit to PSG. They played well.
Yeah.
They were on the front foot, but it was
You
just
took
our
your
day.
chances. And
It
that
was just
Bruno
our day.
Fernandes goal was that back heel from Rashford to Bruno Fernandes to that top bins finish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was a Newcastle game or the PSG game. I can't remember now, but it was a banging
That was
goal.
the Newcastle game.
Newcastle game? Yeah, that was a finish.
Yeah.
That was a finish. So I had to touch on that because when I watched that back, that blew my mind.
After 4 games, Man United sit 15th.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, we're 2-2. You got to remember we've had 1 game less than a couple of teams. Well,
Yeah,
most
it's
of the teams.
Villa and you, I think it is.
You've only had 1 game less.
One thing I will say is that there is a 6-1 result in there.
City have got 7. You guys have 6. So you're a point behind City. But
That is true. Good point then. You got a good point. Because you're a point behind us as
There's
well.
there's a 6-1 result in there. I think our goal difference is -3.
Yeah, that fucked you up a little bit.
So
you'll go.
when you look at us compared to teams around us, you know.
You haven't drawn yet. You've just won 2, lost 2. So
Or one thing I will say though is the Brighton game. Like we said before, we won after the whistle.
Yeah, and that was
So,
edgy. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that result goes your way, I mean,
yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, or doesn't
how
go your way.
much
It's
further
fucked,
we
yeah.
could even be
Yeah.
in relegation.
Well,
zone,
that-
I don't know.
you've won 2 out of 2 the last 2 games. This could be a turning point for United. I hate to say it, but you can now start saying
Rashford did
build
say,
onto
yeah.
that,
Rashford
you know?
said in the post match, we got to carry
I
this.
told you guys.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to hear this, Luke, but this week is a winnable game.
Oh, we'll
It
get
is-
into
it is a
this.
winnable
It's a
game.
winnable game for both
It is
sides.
a winnable
Should we get
game.
into this, or should we talk about
Nah,
Liverpool?
We'll
West
talk
Ham?
about the rest of the Premier
Yeah.
League games because
Alright.
we've got a lot to talk about this episode,
Yeah.
by the way, guys. So if you're still listening, we
Yeah.
appreciate it, but there's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
So pretty much I summed up the Man United, Newcastle game. But we'll move on to the big talking point game. I was going to do the Spurs one, but I really want to talk about the Everton-Liverpool game because I think this game was just like so many
one
things
of the
happened
games
that
of
were
the season, yeah.
criminal to football.
We have a player on West Ham under 13s who was meant to be playing for us on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, you need to
And
read this
due
out.
to this game, Everton-Liverpool,
Soft.
he injured himself. It's our good mate Daniel.
Yeah. So what
He
did he
sent-
send in?
He sent
This
me
is
a
an excuse,
message.
by the way.
There's been an injury. We'll cross now to Jeff Shreves. Jeff, it's Daniel's ankle. The defensive striker has rolled his ankle at a
I love
festival
this.
while celebrating Henderson's 90-minute goal that was disgustingly ruled offside. We'll keep you updated how he goes. Now, if people don't know, that's a FIFA reference.
Yeah.
And a brilliant FIFA reference as is. So, Now, what I said to you and we had a chat about is that although that goal, yes, it shouldn't have been disallowed, in the eyes of VAR, it is disallowed.
Yeah.
What you've got to question is VAR as a whole. You can't just be like, that's the one goal that shouldn't have been.
I reckon.
You know?
I reckon. Hold up. I want to talk about before we even get to the VAR and the offside. I want to go in order right now.
Yeah.
Pickford should have been sent off. Mate, we talk about this at the pub, but it was criminal. Like that was, and
he's done a bloke's.
All right, so yeah, this is what I was gonna. I've got this written down, by the way. So for Daniel listening right now, with Liverpool having Van Dijk in and Alisson in, they won 80% of their games. I think it was 90 or 80% win rate. Yeah, without Van Dijk and without Alisson, they have a win rate of 53%. That dropped so much. 40%, 30%. I can't remember if it was 90 or 80 the win rate, but the loss rate without them is 53%.
Yeah,
so
mental.
the win rate without them two players is 53%. Now, whether Van Dijk's offside or not doesn't really matter to me. That's a red card. Don't give the penalty, but that's a sending off.
Yeah.
That tackle was studs up. But you saw the tackle, boys. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Mate, it was worse than the tackle at me on West Ham under 13s.
There was a... there has been... They said that the rule was because it was offside, it's not a red
but
card.
it's still in... It still took him out, ACL
but
injury.
people still get booked after the final whistle.
So yeah, you still get booked for dissent against the referee.
James for England.
Yeah.
So why not this?
You still get booked for dissent. If I was to go
to
to the referee, fuck off after the game, I still get booked and I would still get in trouble.
You know?
So, I don't know. I think that was disgusting. And then, I would sum up the game quickly. To me, Everton looked sloppy. It was a very lackluster draw.
Liverpool
I think
dominated.
They scraped the game.
That goal by Mane, the first goal by Mane, that was a bit of beauty.
I love the way they play. When Liverpool are so direct, it's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
As a neutral fan, it's so fun to watch.
The one thing that I noticed throughout the game, and Maz noticed as well, who's a Liverpool fan, shout out to Maz, was everyone was being quite... Salah was being quite selfish.
He has that issue all the time.
He wanted to
all
score
the time. He has
goal.
that issue. He never passes to Mane.
Yeah.
There's been arguments between Mane and Salah, which I've watched in the past, and Daniel can also back this, where Mane's been open, but Salah always shoots. Yeah. I don't know if it's it's that competition between all three. They want the most goals, but
so Salah was on his 100th goal, and I know that he wanted to score that 100th goal clearly for a career milestone, but there were chances where you could have passed it and there could have been a goal, and there was when he wanted to take everyone on his own,
Go on. We'll let you have this one.
Do you ask the question, are they playing as individuals or are they playing for the team?
I think they're playing as a team, but I think as well...
There's individuals in the team.
Yeah.
But I mean, has it changed this year now that they've done... they've won the league.
I get what you're saying because Salah, but I've always had this thing about Salah. I think he's a team player, but I think he always thinks of himself first, because if you got to think of it right, when you're banging goals week in, week out, why are you not going to shoot? Do you know what I mean? In his head, he's like, why would I not bang this?
Yeah.
I always bang top big
goals.
It's
also, Salah always has been a bit selfish.
And he scored that game anyway.
Also, he was about to score his 100th goal.
Nice
so I get that. You always see that player who's about to score that milestone goal. He's always, or a hat-trick.
Yeah.
They're always trying to get the ball to that player. But that costed potentially Liverpool 3 points.
Yeah, because the result for you guys that didn't know, it was 2-2. Calvert-Lewin did pick up a goal, and I think it wasn't a known goal.
It was Roy Keane.
Roy Keane in the 19th minute.
No, Moise Keane. Roy Keane's United player.
Moise Keane, yes, sorry.
Moise Keane. That's all right, you too.
Sorry. I'm switched on, boys. I'm switched on.
That's all good, yeah.
So Keane scored, and then so did Calvert-Lewin. Again, mate, Calvert-Lewin hasn't stopped scoring this season. 7 goals in 5 games.
Yeah.
This guy's a monster.
Yeah.
Happy I put him in.
Yeah, mate, if you got him in your fantasy league team, he's doing bits.
Well,
he's doing bits.
Yeah.
But we'll cross over to the big talking point now, because I think that's what everyone wants to hear us talk about. The VAR drama. Now, I'm going to start here because I've got a lot to say about this, but we'll all have our little turn because I know we all have a lot of thoughts about this. First of all, I think everyone can agree that it wasn't offside, but I think we can all agree that it's been given as a goal. It's been given offside, so we can't change that. Yeah. But this is where we talked about this in the first episode, where VAR really needs a major change. And I'm not even thinking VAR needs it. I think the way we use VAR, it should we talk about this. I think we talked about this behind the scenes, maybe not even on a podcast. But in other sports, in basketball, they have timeouts and they can only use 3 in a game.
Yeah.
Or something like that, right? VAR should only be allowed to be used for moments which they said they were going to be using them in decisions where they can't, where it's clear and obvious, and they need to use it. In that decision, 2 seconds. In that decision, it was never ever clear and obvious, mate. At that point, you're going into the camera angles, you're going to depth perception, you're going into lighting, you're going into the people drawing the lines. At this point, you might as well start blaming the referees.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones drawing the lines and deciding if his fucking shirt it's a disgrace, mate. Watching that back, I'm sorry, it was disgraceful. I get the armpit's still a part of the body that can score a goal, which still blabs my mind. But, like, it was his shirt that was offside.
Yeah.
So if they had a smaller shirt, is he not offside?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's a madness. Go on, Liam.
So, just on the bit that you added about like the basketball timeouts, thinking about another sport, cricket, they use challenges.
Yep.
So, for example, if a player gets hit, I don't know if everyone knows about cricket. If they get hit on the
going.
pad for LBW, player can refer the decision,
And they can
depending on what the umpire's call is. So that is all like player
this is what they
demanded,
Speak-
as opposed to umpire.
Speaking of
reviews.
which, going on to that as well, I genuinely believe each team should have one VAR, like they have an option to use VAR, one opportunity, because you see players going ref, and they don't bother checking VAR. The manager should have the opportunity,
the authority
to be
able
like,
to request it.
And also, then they've got to think, if we use this and that's wrong, we've wasted a VAR opportunity, you know?
This is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Instead of it being ruled by the umpires, should it be like the team gets together, you get like, say, one reviewer half, the captain's got to be like, all right, we're going to challenge this call.
Yeah.
If they get it right, it stays.
But I just don't get how it's been given offside still. I don't
but
get that.
We've also got to remember, and we spoke about this earlier, is that, this isn't the first time VAR's done this.
I know, but this is the time it's been the most... this is
because
different.
it's a winner. It's because it's in the final minutes of the game.
But it's not even that, Mark. It's the levels of the offside. It's not, mate, watch it back. It's like
I've seen it, but it's not the first time this season, or last season, that they've ruled something like that offside. If they turn around and say, we got to allow that onside, they've got to go back over about 32 goals or so that I read that they've disallowed because of that. It's because... obviously, hyped up last minute. For example, if Lanzini's goal that they scored against Tottenham was ruled as a handball and it was a dodgy offside, that would have been such a big talking point as well. It was a winner. Liverpool celebrated like a winner, and then...
it probably would have been a big talking point in the end of the day anyway, just because of the fact that I still don't believe he was offside.
Yeah, I don't agree with it myself. It's not clear and obvious. The lines and all that they draw is ridiculous, but in the eyes of VAR... it's offside every day. VAR itself has to change. It shouldn't be that strict. I
honestly felt like, and I don't like Liverpool really. Like I really don't, to be honest. But I felt like that just felt like robbery. It felt like match fixing. Like at that point, I was like, mate, is someone paying Everton to win the league now, or like I don't know? It just felt. But like, what was your thoughts on it?
Like I said, I think it's way too scrutinised. It's way too takes too long to draw the lines. Like we said, clear and obvious. Clear and obvious should take about 10 seconds to call.
Yeah,
it shouldn't take about a couple minutes where everyone's standing around going, "What's the decision?" Because that's not clear and obvious. If it takes that,
and
long.
It wasn't. And that game in general. Sorry, and this is.
Yeah.
We'll go to you in a second, Liam, about that, but there was also another red card for Richarlison, which was a dirty challenge on Thiago.
Filthy, yeah.
Thiago now is also apparently out. So Liverpool, he's come out and said to Klopp that he was probably injured and they're doing tests. Yeah, so Thiago's out, which they're not sure for how long. Van Dijk's come out. He's said on Instagram, he put an Instagram out pretty much saying he's going to be out, maybe not for the rest of the season, but a good 6 months. A good three to 6 months. It's an ACL injury. They're big injuries. Van Dijk, I'm sorry to Liverpool fans, he'll maybe come back, and they always say stronger and better, and I really hope he does. But for people that don't really know, and I know I've never experienced an ACL injury myself, they're big injuries. A lot of players, especially not really defenders but attackers, when they get an ACL injury, the pace changes, the way they move on the ball, because they're so scared of hurting that knee again.
Yep.
So I honestly think that game just for Liverpool was a big L. A big L. They lost 2 big players. Thiago fitting into that system very nicely, as we all saw.
Yep.
But Liam, going to that offside, was it offside or what are you saying?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think there was enough in it.
Yeah, mate, it was
offside.
robbery.
I mean, if you're looking at that from the naked eye as the linesman,
You've never seen
That
that.
linesman
Yeah,
would never call
would
that.
you-
linesman
would
would
you
never.
pick
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
and I think that's what the problem.
That's what it should be down to. It's a
If
human game.
if VAR wasn't a thing,
Yeah. But
would that have even been picked up?
like I said,
Mate,
I'm
all
backing.
sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off. All I'm saying is they just gave Lampard that goal in the 2010 World Cup against Germany,
Would
was
it?
it?
Yeah.
This would never. We'd never
Yeah.
talk about VAR.
Exactly. But like I'm saying, I'm backing Liverpool all the way here. But what has to change? Not that offside decision. VAR itself has to change, because in the eyes of VAR, that is offside. VAR needs to change the rules where it shouldn't be an elbow is counted as offside. You know what I mean? It has to be.
It's a joke.
Has to be like if a player's there.
It has to be clear
Yeah,
lines.
exactly. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, this isn't the first time, and it won't be the last time that VAR. Probably this weekend, United Chelsea, there'll be a VAR
Oh,
similar decision.
don't even say.
But that's what I'm saying.
Don't wind
it's
us up.
it's such a common thing. You both watch football.
Yeah.
It happens every week.
It does. It's happening week in, week out now.
It
It's a
happens
talking
every
point. We talk about VAR every
happened,
podcast.
I mean-
happened to Tottenham and Newcastle.
Yeah, we talk about it every
Newcastle shouldn't have
podcast,
gotten that
yeah.
penalty. Even Steve Bruce came out and said, "You shouldn't have been a penalty." You know what I mean?
It's just shambles. But I do want to give respects to Salah. 100 goals in
Yeah.
how many games? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Quickly, I actually looked that up because
Yeah,
I'm
I
interested
will
how
do.
many.
I'm
Because he's done quite a lot of Liverpool, Salah. Like he
Yeah.
was at Chelsea before. We never really played him. Didn't really get his chance to shine. But summed the game 2-2. Calvert-Lewin with a goal, Keane, and then we had Salah and Mane banging in the goals. Salah's goal was a nice little volley, and that, mate, he's always smashing goals in. Like, such a class player. Does anyone have the stats on it? I want to see. Someone get me the stat.
Let me have a look. Chris, stats.
Because I want to see how many goals he scored from Liverpool.
We're going
in how
as
many
fast
games.
as we can.
100 goals.
Yep, and how many
in
games?
159 appearances.
Jeez.
And also, if we're talking about goals, I watched the
That's madness.
the women's football, and I want to give a shout out to our Dutch striker in the women's football for getting her 52nd goal in 50 games.
Jeez.
And she's now the
Big
top-
ups. Big
now,
ups to the
now
women.
she's the top goal scorer of the female Premier League of all time,
Damn.
and she's only
Sam Kerr's coming for her, bro.
she's only 24 years old.
Well, Sam Kerr's coming, mate. But, yeah, so round that game up, boys. What we said. So we all agree it was offside, but VAR needs to change.
Yeah,
correct?
VAR needs to change itself.
Awesome. All right, we're going to move on from that game.
We
Big
need
talking point.
We need to speak before we go into your preview, the West Ham Tottenham.
Yeah,
game.
that's what I was about to talk about
Yeah.
right now, yeah.
Um,
So we'll talk about that game. I'm going to let you take this one. I've got quite a lot of stuff written down for it, but I'm going to let you take it, and I'm
Is
just going
this
to add
me?
in. Yeah, you.
Oh, right. Well, was it the first episode we spoke about the Tottenham Newcastle game? They need to kill games off.
Yep.
Yep.
And then what did
So-
someone ask us? Well, someone said on the TV show, who was it again, that pundit that said they were title contenders?
Oh, yeah.
And then they go in,
Redknapp.
Bottle 3-0 lead.
Yeah, so, I say kill games off. You end up walking into halftime 3-0, and in 12 minutes' time, you concede 3 goals.
It was
and
actually
it's
8
3-0.
minutes, mate, that they
8
conceded
minutes.
3 goals in.
8
Yeah,
minutes.
no.
82nd minute to the 90th minute, they scored,
Really? I
3
thought it was
goals.
only 4th.
or maybe 94th, but
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, Tottenham, as much as I dislike them, they shouldn't have. I don't know what happened. The second goal was an own goal. The first goal was class, and
yeah, sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
that Kane Son duo, like, is the best in the league right now. The
Yeah.
Bulls that, I know you don't like so much Tottenham, but Harry Kane is picking out these passes to Son that are mind-boggling me.
yeah, exactly.
And he's finishing them, and then Kane's also banging in goals as well. 2 goals that game.
Yeah, Lanzini's goal was a. If you had to look up the definition of the beautiful game, I'd put Lanzini's
I
goal
would
there.
put his face up there.
Because that was that's what football's all about. You never know what's gonna happen. Majority of other sports you could have like 50-point gaps, or someone's clear favourite. There's no way there's gonna come back. You end up 3-0 at half time. Don't count them out.
Now,
You know.
about that game, so this made me laugh. Declan Rice ended up retweeting a tweet where someone said, "We bring on Gareth Bale, West Ham United bring on Lanzini." Laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. Now, for you, those of you who didn't watch the game, Bale came on, Mr. Sitter.
Last minute.
And then Lanzini bangs in probably the best goal so far this
Oh,
season. Mate, that was class.
I
I can't even put words in. Just go check out the Instagram because, by the way, shout out to at 3 Points Podcast.
Yeah, at the 3.
At the
number
3 points.
Yeah, Points Podcast
Underscore.
_ That's it. But You know, I love the idea that Lanzini was just like, you know what, there's no more time of the game left, just fucking hit it and just hope for the best. And he pulled off one of the best hits you ever seen in football.
Yeah, Declan Rice's retweet after though, this
Yeah.
aged well, he said, by
Yeah.
the way. Just perfect class
Yeah.
to that. 3-3, by the way. So they came back, 3-3 draw. Now, I'm going to ask the same question we asked before. I know we just mentioned it, but so I've got written down here, Spurs title contenders.
No.
No. I still say no.
Cup contenders they are.
Yeah.
Mourinho's like that.
Mourinho loves his cup. He's always said that. He loves his cup competitions.
I
The
could
cup's
see
a cup.
He's got one of the easiest teams in the Carling Cup left, or the League Cup as people call it.
Yeah.
We've got Stoke, who haven't been that great recently, but no, they're not title contenders. They've lost. They haven't played that great football, and I still put down that win they got against United was only because they were playing a 10-man United. You know.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem that they have is that they're still so reliant on Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
100%.
Just a stat, they've actually scored the most goals in the season so far.
Yeah, I
15.
think.
But Harry
yeah.
Kane's responsible for 12.
Yes, I was
He
going to say, I
scored
think
5
Harry
and he's had
Kane
7
in
assists.
Europe right now has the most goals and assists in
Yeah.
Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty impressive, but if he goes, where's
I don't
Tottenham?
think he'll leave Tottenham though. I just
I
don't
think-
think
I
Harry
think he
Kane's
will.
ever going to leave. I don't think he will.
I mean, regardless whether he leaves or not, if he gets injured, what happens to him?
Well, that's what happens every season.
Do you know what I mean, you just rang up about Van Dijk when he's out from
Yeah.
Liverpool.
I mean, that's what happened on the
it's the same for
All
Tottenham.
or Nothing season last year. They had Son and Kane out at the same time. They had Dele Alli playing up front, and it's like, well, how's that going to happen? You know. So, and now you've got Harry Kane, who's quite injury prone. You've got Bale, who's injury prone. You know, you've got two great players there. That if they both get injured at the same time, what's going to happen? But I genuinely think that if what do you call it? If Tottenham don't win a trophy this season, Kane will walk.
I don't know though.
Because he's one of the best. I've got to admit, he's one of the best strikers in the world. Period. And he hasn't won anything yet. Would he really want to spend? He's not even a Tottenham fan at heart.
yeah.
You know? Would he want to spend his whole career?
Who does he support?
He was an Arsenal fan.
Really?
Yeah,
That is
there's
actually very
there's
interesting.
photos of him celebrating the Premier League in the streets in his Arsenal kit. And I think we were going to sign him in our academy, but we didn't think he was good enough. But
Well,
you
what
know,
a sign
our
that
loss.
would've been.
But you know, I just think, would you want to stay at a brilliant striker like Harry Kane? Would you like to go at the end of the season and go, yeah, I never won anything?
Yeah, I do get that argument, but I just feel like I think he thinks they're going to win something.
I mean, all their class
he's
players.
delusional.
Modric left. Everyone thought he was going to stay. Modric left. Walker left. Bale left. And they've gone on and won
well,
Champions
Modric
League.
went to
Premier
Madrid,
Leagues.
hey.
Yeah, Walker went to
Yeah.
City, won so many trophies. Harry Kane probably looks at all these
Top
legends
class
at Tottenham
players, yeah.
and going, look, if I just make that move. There was talks of United signing him at the beginning of the season.
This game for me is why I love the Premier League, though.
Yeah.
Like, this game for me is why I watch the Premier League week in, week out, because you just don't know. 82nd minute, they're 3-0 up, and then game ends 3-3.
Yeah.
This league, this season, is just up for grabs. Anyone can take top 4. Mate, Aston Villa are second right now,
Yeah.
which we'll get into that game soon, but Aston Villa are second right now.
Yeah.
Everton are first.
Yeah.
Like, it's just insane. So, like, I'm so far, I reckon the Puskas Award, would, like, if it was to be voted right now, it would have to go to Lanzini. Like, the
Yeah.
goal, mate, it was insane.
Yeah. That lands.
Yeah,
Oh.
so far.
But we're moving to the next game. We actually got to go through a lot of games, guys. Sorry, we're not really staying on most of the games. But next thing I did want to talk about quickly was the Villa-Leicester game.
Yeah.
Because for me, I've been watching Villa a lot because of Martinez signing. Obviously, they're second place, and then they signed Barkley as well. And obviously, kept Grealish, which I always talk about week in, week out. But Barkley is still, to me, a class player. And I really am happy for him that he's getting game time, but I'm so upset he left.
Yeah.
Like, I know we have such a good midfield choice, but I rate him over Kovacic on his day. Kovacic is a baller, by the way, but I just don't think Kovacic suits our system anymore. I would have took Barkley. It was a tight game. It took a wonderful solo goal from Barkley to actually break the game open and get the goal. But watching the game back, Leicester had so many chances to score. Iheanacho hitting a lot at the keeper, straight down the throat. Pretty easy save, so like Martinez. And is it Martinez or Martinez? I don't want to get it wrong.
Amy
Emi Martinez. There we go.
Yeah.
So, like, watching him in goal, for me, clean sheet again.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
Villa never kept one.
They never kept one last season, we spoke about.
Yeah.
Let's bolster up the defence. But having Barkley in that midfield, just watching him run and attack the ball, like he does that. He did that at Chelsea. He scored so many goals at Chelsea, like he did for Villa. And 4 games in, 4 wins. I mean, who's going to take him down right now? Because
How far can they go?
yeah, how far can they
Yeah.
take this?
It just shows it doesn't matter how many players you need. Like if they just spend it correctly in those positions, that you can go anywhere.
Really can.
It's really, and I'm heartbroken that Emmy left, but I am still so happy that he's doing so well at Aston Villa, and I only wish him all the best, man.
Yeah, I wish Barkley all the best at Villa, and I hope because he's on loan. I hope, or did he go permanently? I always
No,
forget
loan.
that loan. He was loan. For God's sake, I nearly got scared then. But now, so I do hope that he gets a second look, and I hope he does well for Villa. But apart from that, Leicester, yeah, like for me at the moment, they need to be taking their chances better.
But it's mental because Leicester beat City.
Yeah, I know, but that's the
5-1.
thing.
It's
They
the blame this
played
season.
well. Like
You
when
know?
but against Tillemans had a lot of chances. They just weren't burying them.
Yeah.
I think they're very hit and miss.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The league this season.
Yeah, it's
You
so
can-
it doesn't matter.
you can
You
smack
can
someone
a
one
team and then
week.
go lose the next
Yeah,
week. It's,
exactly. You know,
It's a madness.
Tottenham go beat United 6-1. They go draw against West Ham
Yeah,
at home.
it's a madness.
It's whack. You know.
So what we
and
saying, boys? Villa title contenders?
mathematically they are.
They
but-
are. Everyone is. But I'm
everyone
saying right
is.
now, like
No,
Villa.
no, they're not.
Are they the elephant up the tree right
I think
now?
I think they'll finish in the top 10.
Are they the elephant up the tree, Liam? Are they going to fall down eventually? Are they just that elephant that's going to break that log on that tree or that branch? Should I say?
One thing I will question is who have they beaten so far?
Or
Liverpool?
Liverpool? No, they didn't beat Liverpool.
Yeah, 7-2.
They did.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh my
That-
God,
that is-
that still blows my mind.
Yeah.
You know.
apart
So
from that,
Liverpool,
Liverpool, Leicester.
I
Leicester.
don't know how
That's
long
the top
they can
four
sustain
side.
that.
They've won 4 out of 4.
4 out of 4. Liverpool,
They've
Leicester.
100% record. They've
West
played,
Ham was it?
They played. Sorry, no, they've played 3. I don't
4.
know.
It's 4. It's 4. Yep.
All right, so week 2 they played Burnley 1-4-2. They played where's it? Fulham 1-3-0.
3-0. Yep. Good result.
Played Liverpool
7-2, and then they won.
and then
on
they've
weekend,
just
1-0.
gone and beat
Leicester, 1-0.
1-0. They have Leeds next, which will be a good game.
So if they beat Leeds, mate, honestly, like I'm starting to get a bit worried.
Yeah.
As a Chelsea fan, I'm getting worried about that game. I'm worried about a lot of games that I shouldn't have been. Like at the start of the season, you asked me what the easy points this season. I'm saying Villa. I'm saying probably not Leeds easy because I knew they were going to be a tough team. But I'm talking about Villa, your West Ham. But again, West Ham, they've just turned up again this season. They've like started off shit and then won 3-0 against Leicester, 3-0 against. Then they come back 3-0 against Spurs. So I think every team right now it's just scary.
I think Villa will finish top 10.
It's just scary.
I genuinely think they'll finish top 10. The way they're sort of playing, and like those, just picking up the 3 points against Liverpool is so massive already.
Now,
I'm just not sure they have the quality and the depth to contend with the
I
top
understand what you're
teams
saying, but they don't
later in
have
the
any. They're
season.
not in any big cups. I don't think they're in any left in any cups.
So I mean, they don't have to play Europe.
they don't
they
have
don't
to play European football.
There's
So
only
they have to
FA
worry about
Cup
that.
left they've
Yeah.
got. But I think they'll be one of those like bogey sides where you always be like, oh shit, we got Villa. Like it's not going to be an easy game, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you keep, 3 clean sheets out of 4. That's
You're starting to get hyped as a Villa
Yeah.
fan, especially.
But yeah, no, kudos to them. Yeah.
But I will go over the other results because these are the games that we all watched, by the way, guys. For you guys listening right now, so the other games that were played that we didn't watch personally was the Fulham Sheffield game, boys.
Yep.
That was a 1-0 draw. We had goals in that game, I believe. Let me get this up quickly. So yeah, Billy Sharp scoring a penalty. I believe so. Yeah, Billy Sharp scoring a penalty, and then Lookman for Fulham in the 77th minute also scoring. And then the other games we had was the Crystal Palace Brighton game. So that was 1-0. Now, I didn't watch this game either, but there was a red card in this game, I do believe. I did see that on the stats. Yep, red card in that game. Zaha scoring a penalty, and then a 90th minute goal. A lot of 90-minute goals this week from Alexis McAllister.
Do you think a lot of teams switch off?
Yeah, I think it's not the switching off. I think it's the pressure and not having fans be able to like encourage them to hold the line, because when you have the fans behind you.
But that's kind of switching off then, isn't it?
It is that switching on. I think it's just going. It's just
Like, they've got a
respecting
couple
them too
minutes
much.
left,
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
just like, oh, this is in the bag.
I think it's like what you said about Lanzini's goal, man. Is that they go for it
Yeah, why not?
when it gets down.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
People
there's
just
only so
sense
much
it.
time
Yeah,
left.
It is a.
We can still snatch a result.
And
Yeah.
fair play, going back to that, fair play to Tottenham. They couldn't stop that Lanzini shot.
No,
that was
a
top
fucking
bins.
top
That was
bins.
I mean, they shouldn't have let him get back in the game.
yeah, exactly.
But that was a
yeah.
No one's getting that.
Yeah.
And then the other two games we had was the Wolves-Leeds game, which was 1-0 to Wolves. And I believe, 2 seconds, I believe in the Wolves game, the goals did go to, I think it was a done. I'm not too sure. Let me double check this before I get it wrong. No, it was Jimenez, yeah. So, again, that's a good result for Wolves, actually, over Leeds. That's actually a really good result, 1-0. I wish I actually watched that game. That would have been a good game to watch.
Yeah.
Did you see the funny Sky Sports interview about them?
With Cody?
Cody, when he's getting man of the match.
Yeah.
That was quite funny. And
and then Carragher's like, apparently Jurgen Klopp's asking you to replace Virgil van Dijk, and he's like, don't ask me this now on air. And then he's like, nah, surely I'm not leaving Wolves. And he's like, really, you wouldn't go to Liverpool? He's like, nah, I'm not leaving Wolves. I'm loyal to Wolves. So,
you'd have to say that. Imagine you started going, I'd go take over
when,
that.
Where's Klopp's number? I'll give him a call.
And then the last game we had was the West Bromwich Albion versus Burnley game, which Mark actually predicted right.
I
believe so. Was this the game
Yeah,
you
should we get
predicted
into the
right?
prediction table quickly?
Yeah, because we went to cover this, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
I realised halfway through this episode that we didn't. This is what we meant to cover at the start of the episode. We had it written in our little notes, but Luke got a bit too carried away about the Premier League results.
Right, so I'm going to smash through these quickly.
So wait, just before we dive into it, let's explain it again, just for people that are at home that are maybe tuning in for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah, so guys, at the start of the season, me and Mark did a little predictions table. So explain the format. You get 1 point if you get the result right and the score wrong. So say you say, okay, it's 3-2 to Newcastle, but they win 2-1.
Yep.
And then it's still a point because you got the result right, but it's not the 3 points because you didn't get the score right. So if you get the score right, and also obviously you got the result right, it's 3 points.
Yep.
So just for you guys at home, 3 points for a win, 3 points for the correct score and obviously the result, and then 1 point for the correct result.
Yep.
So Mark, you want to take it away? And also, by the way, we've figured out the forfeit. The person to lose at the end of the season has to wear the other person's kit and post it on Instagram.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Okay. So,
thanks, by the way, shout out to Liam. Thanks
Liam's
for the idea for that.
Yeah,
Big ups.
Yeah, it's not fun. Don't lose, boys.
All right, so it was Everton 2-2 with Liverpool. Luke predicted 4-3. I predicted 4-4, so I got the point there. Chelsea Southampton ended 3-3. We both predicted Chelsea to win. Luke predicted 2-0. I predicted 3-1. Arsenal lost to City 1-0. I predicted 2-1. Arsenal win. Luke predicted 3-1. City win, so he got that point correct.
Yep.
Newcastle United. Luke predicted a 1-0 win to Newcastle. I predicted 2-1 to United. They won, United, so I got that point.
Yep.
Sheffield versus Fulham. Luke got the correct score, 1-1, so he got the 3 points. I predicted 1-0 to Sheffield. Palace versus Brighton.
So I'll take the 3 points on that one.
Yeah. Palace versus Brighton was 1-1. Luke predicted 2-1 to Palace. I predicted 2-0.
Oh, so close.
Tottenham versus West Ham. 3-1 to Tottenham. Luke predicted. I predicted 2-2.
That 3-1 was going to be right, by the way. If it went to the 82nd minute, the game ended there.
I predicted 2-2, and it ended 3-3. Leicester versus Villa. I predicted 2-1 to... I can't remember who predicted 2-1, but one of us predicted 2-1. The other predicted 3-1. Villa ended up winning 1-0. 1-0, yeah. West Brom versus Burnley. Luke predicted 1-0 to West Brom. I predicted 0-0, and that was correct. So I got the 3 points. Leeds versus Wolves. Luke predicted 3-1, which was correct. Like, you got the 1 point.
1 point,
yep. 2-1, which was 1 point as well. Which leaves the table now. Luke on 13 points.
Yep.
And myself on 12.
It's tight.
So it's getting close.
It's getting close. You caught up. You had a big week.
Yeah.
Because you were down quite a lot.
Yeah,
What was the last week's
3 points
scores?
behind you.
Yeah.
It was 7-4.
It was 7-4. And then you've gone from 4 to 12.
Yeah.
And I've gone from 7 to 13.
Yeah.
That's madness. You took a lot of points that week.
Yeah.
But this is that for you guys at home, again, that is the league table we're doing.
Yep.
So stay tuned for the rest of the season. We're going to be doing that. We'll be making our predictions later on in the episode.
Yep.
But we'll be crossing over to now.
United versus Chelsea. So the main event of the podcast and
why
we have Liam on the show
is
obviously because United are versus Chelsea next week, and we'll be doing
big game.
Yeah, and we'll be doing something similar next week with the Arsenal United game. So now I'm going to be posing questions to both Luke and Liam about the United Chelsea game and their season and the future. There'll be 5 questions, and they're just going to hash it out between each other. So I don't speak.
Come on, son.
Unless I'm going to mediate.
Unless I take you out.
Yeah. So
don't speak unless you're spoken to.
Exactly,
I like that.
Exactly. So question number 1: who is finishing higher this season, United or Chelsea?
Chelsea.
and why? And
All right, so
maybe
we'll
Liam?
debate it. All right, I'll go first. I'll give my reasons, and you can say obviously who you're gonna say.
Yeah.
All right.
And remember, Liam's representing all the United fans out there.
Yeah, so I'm
Ash,
gonna
is it
say-
Ash?
I'm gonna say. All right, I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna say Chelsea. And the reason I'm gonna say Chelsea is the squad depth that we have. I think is a better squad. I feel like our coach is better. Ole, even though Lampard has his issues with the technicality, the tactical side sometimes, I feel like Ole's just a lost man at a club. He's an old caretaker that looks lost. He's a legend, don't get me wrong, big legend for United, but he looks lost. He doesn't understand. I don't think he understands what he's doing. I think the results he gets is not from him. I believe it's from his side just turning up when they want to turn up. I feel like when Rashford turns up and he gets wins. But our squad depth that we have and the signings that we made this summer, just gone, is the reason why we will win the league. Oh, not win the league, sorry. We'll stay above. Jesus,
the
yeah.
league,
I
yeah.
fucking hope we win the league. Nah, we ain't winning the league. But that's the reason we stay above United there. It's just mainly because we got like just the balls. Werner, Ziyech, fucking Pulisic. I can't think of the top of my head. Chilwell, Mendy, like these big names. I'm missing one right now. Havertz, that's it. Like the quality we have, and I feel like coming up against United next week, I just feel like the only way the United finish above us this season, which they did last season, to be fair, which Aneski's going to use that point, so I'm going to counteract it right now. The only reason you finished above us last season is because we had a team of 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds, homegrown talent, with a first-year manager, and
Transfer ban.
yeah, and we had a transfer ban, and that's the only reason why. But I'll let you take it away.
I mean, you had a transfer ban. That's it.
Yeah,
We
big.
have a lot of homegrown talent as well.
Okay, but like, who
we've got
was
a
in
new
your squad
manager
last
as
Who's
well.
year?
finishing higher, Liam?
I don't want to say it, but
He's gonna say United.
Chelsea.
Oh,
Yeah, and why? Why do you say, is it Ole, or is it you just don't think your team's good enough, or?
I don't think Ole or Lampard are the world's greatest
No.
managers. I think we can. I think,
think
we can
both.
probably
Yeah,
agree
I
on
think
that
both
one.
clubs can agree with that.
Um,
I do
Yeah,
like
the-
Lampard, by the way, to all the Chelsea fans out there. But
yeah,
go on.
the squad depth is probably there with Chelsea. I feel we've got enough to cover.
Yeah, you do. But
I mean, you spoke about us in the PSG game.
yeah,
I mean, we had our two
but
starting centre halves.
Maguire
of the
out,
game.
and you had to get in a Resi that did put in a shift,
And he
which
got-
I can't deny.
And he did well.
Yeah, he did really well. But if, for example, he didn't do well, then you've got, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, who do you
Yeah,
have? But
exactly.
so go on. So I'm gonna ask you this question quickly. Do you honestly really believe Ole will take you? Like, is that the reason you'll finish above us? If you were, so say, I know you said Chelsea will probably finish above you guys, but if you were to say Man United,
Kill like Pochin.
yeah, who would you? All right, if you could take Poch tomorrow, would you take him?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you think
I said that as soon as we were getting that.
right? You take
Yeah.
Poch.
I don't know why we didn't get him in the first.
You take Poch tomorrow. At the end of the season, is United finishing above Chelsea? Do you think the manager would?
And be
change?
honest, I won't. But you can
Yeah.
say what you want.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. So you genuinely think Ole is going to be the difference between you finishing above or below Chelsea?
I think he plays a big
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't.
I agree with that.
I think we've got enough quality there.
So you right.
There's just something not happening
With the
at
squad
moment.
right now that you have, and with Ole in charge, you believe that you will not finish above Chelsea, correct?
Not at the moment.
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Right.
I think.
And I think
we've got some quality players,
But I think
we're too reliant.
before this PSG game, most United fans would agree with him. I think after this PSG game, you're going to get some people disagree because you guys won against PSG and people's going to be gassed.
You've given him more time
Yeah,
now.
but at the same time, I respect your
all that's done is brought Ole
more time, and I respect your answer because I've got shout out Jordan Gomez, by the way, but I spoke to him before the season started, and he said that he did not see Man United finishing in the top 4.
Yeah.
And with this, how the season has started for you guys so far, I don't think that was really a bad thing to say because Ole at the wheel was just a bit of a danger hazard zone. But go on, next question.
Next question.
yeah.
Do you want to say something?
I would have said 6 at the start
Yeah.
of the season.
Yep. All right. Where am I? Okay, cool. All right. Before I go on to the next question, I have to read out something that Daniel sent in to me because it leads into the next question.
Okay.
After you guys beat PSG, he messaged, "Give Ole a 5-year contract, please. They're gonna get dicked by Chelsea this week." So.
Shout out Daniel.
Shout
Big
out
man.
Daniel O'Callaghan. So that leads me into which manager will be more successful for their respective club in the long term.
So the current managers we
The
have?
current managers.
Okay. So I'm going to go first again.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna say Lampard, but I don't think necessarily like he'll be that much more successful than Ole.
Yep.
I don't think Lampard is gonna take us to that next level. And I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong because I love that guy. He's a club legend, and like the respect that like I have for that man, and I think his IQ and intelligence and football intelligence is insane. But when it comes down to it, I feel like sometimes he gets his tactics wrong, and I don't know. I feel like we could win a competition with him and a cup, and I feel like we have more of a chance than winning a cup than you guys, purely to the fact that Lampard is more inspiring as a manager than Ole is. When you see Lampard talk, it's the players are inspired by him. When I walk into that dressing room and I see Frank Lampard, I'm going, holy fuck, that man scored 200 plus goals for my club. This club I'm at, I want to do him proud. I want to come in here and I want to win something for him.
But Ole's a legend at United as well.
But
won the treble with them.
Look at him, mate. He's an old man who doesn't have any charisma. Like he has nothing.
Yeah.
Again, I can't fight Luke on that one.
Yeah.
Because that is the biggest thing that frustrates me about him. Regardless what's happening in the game.
Yeah. He has no reaction.
He gives us nothing at all.
Like,
and even watching that semi-final against you guys last year, there was the time out when I think Bally went off, and Lampard's in there, right there, getting to every player, letting them all know this is what we got to do, this is what we're about.
Yeah, he gets in. Yeah, he gets.
Yeah,
in
that was
face.
during the first break, and like Lampard's got him round and he's talking to him, and Ole's just standing there, just like, what's happening?
He's just not inspiring to me.
Yeah,
and that's no hate against you, and that's no hate against United fans, and I know Ole is a club legend, and I do get that. You know, but I just, when I look at him, I don't feel inspired. I don't feel like I would want to play for him. I don't feel like I would want to do anything for him.
Yeah.
When I see Lampard, I'm like,
I
want
said,
to work hard.
I can't
and Lampard
fight you
has,
on that.
and I've heard from rumors from behind the club and seen that Lampard is ruthless and will call you out, as we talked about Alonso getting dropped from the squad.
Yep.
And he told me, and apparently the words were exchanged in the change room, and they weren't the best of words. So I would know if I saw that as a player, I'm like, shit, I don't want that being me.
Yeah.
I want to put in my all, and I think that's, and so my point wraps around to the fact, because of that reason there, I feel we will win a trophy with Lampard.
Yeah.
I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know when it will be, but I feel like we will win a trophy with Lampard.
Cool. So do you want me to move on to the next
question?
question?
Go to the
Anyone
next
want
question.
to say anything else? Do you want to say anything else?
One thing I will say is that I feel that Lampard's got more license to what he wants.
Yeah.
I think our board has a bit more impact
I think
over
he's a
what
puppet.
Ole
I
can
was
do.
hoping you were going to say one thing I will say is Ole's at the wheel.
Yeah, Ole's at the wheel, and he's taking us to victory.
We're going to win the treble this season, boys.
You watch, mate. We're up
Fucking
on you
treble
guys
my
in the
arse,
Champions
cunt.
League.
Yeah. Right. Next question. Right. For your game on the weekend, who will be man of the match?
For the
Is it- okay,
upcoming
so
The
it's
game.
whole
game?
game. Whole game.
Okay.
So who's going to go and do bits? And I wanted because if you
This
guys
is so
predict-
hard though, because
Yeah.
there's bias, man. Are we putting bias aside?
up to you. You know, think with your head or your
Well,
heart.
if we win, it's Fernandez.
Okay, I'm.
That
point,
guy
yeah.
is in form.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. That's what I was gonna say. So if United win, I'm saying it's Fernandez because that guy. It's Fernandez or Rashford. For me, watching them play, it's them the two players right now that's standing out.
Yep.
But if Chelsea win, I feel like it could be Mendy, it could be Pulisic, it could be Chilwell. We got so many. It's so hard to pick with the Chelsea squad because we've got so many
Werner.
game changes. But that's what's going on too. Right now, with the form that Werner's in, I feel like this is a big game for Werner, and I feel like if anyone was to do something in this game, it's Werner. I feel like Werner's the one to turn it on and maybe pull out man of the match.
Yep. All right. Cool. Are we going on to the next one?
Yeah.
Go on,
Or
then.
anyone else? Anything? Anyone else wants?
Oh yeah. Last thing I want to say is that Werner's bagging a hat trick. 3-0.
I mean, Day is in pretty good form, so
Yeah. You
I
know,
wouldn't
De Gea
be so
might
sure.
end up being man of the match. You never know.
Oh, De Gea's been informed though. That
Yeah.
saves against PSG were insane. I have to
he's
say
a bit
that.
better than old mate Kepa.
Yeah. Well, we got Mendy in goal, mate.
All right.
I don't know.
Which, sorry to cut you off quickly. I want
Yeah.
to touch on Mendy just 1 second. I'm not going to go too much detail, but I've took back my bang average thing about him.
Yep.
Because, mate, he actually made a worldy save in the Sevilla game, but go on, continue.
Yep. Right. Will United or Chelsea win a trophy this season? If so, who and what trophy?
Well, are we out? We're out of most cups, though, aren't we? We're at the Carabao.
We have the Mickey Mouse Cup.
We're in the FA Cup still, right? The
Yeah.
FA Cup hasn't been played yet,
Hasn't
so we're
started
still
yet.
in.
So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
both in the Champions League. You're both in the league. So you got three Are you in the League Cup still?
I think it would be unrealistic.
Yeah.
I think it would be unrealistic to say that we would win the Champions League, right?
Of course, yep.
But in saying that, Man United have just gone and beat PSG, which they finished second. Bayern Munich is realistically the team to beat for the Champions League, right? So, and with our record with Bayern, it's not the hottest. We have won a game against them to win a league before, but not a league, sorry, to get us in the Champions League final, I think it was. But I just don't know. Like, I feel like the trophy we will win, if we were to win one, would be an FA Cup. Purely because I feel that's the easiest competition we could win in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's an easy competition. I'm just saying out of the competition we're left in, it's probably the most.
League's going to be hard. Champions League's going to be hard. Yep.
So I would say that, but comes down to the same question. I don't see Ollie winning a trophy. I don't see him winning one. So you can go now, Liam.
Well, I mean, it depends where we want to shift our focus to.
Yeah.
I as soon as I saw our Champions League group this year, I knew
you got a tough group.
Getting out of the group was going to be tough.
Who's in your group? So you got PSG,
Leipzig.
Is that because there's a lot of Red Bull teams. There's a lot of teams. Is it RP or RB or whatever it is? Leipzig?
I'll have a look quickly. I know it's Leipzig and PSG.
Our group's got some random team in it that I can't even pronounce.
Istanbul Basaksehir.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce
I'm
that.
pretty sure that's Turkey, if my geography's correct.
Well, that's a big call.
Capital of Turkey.
You're getting slain in the comments.
I'd say it's capital. I'm going to say it's capital of Turkey. You can check that now.
All these Istanbul fans are going to dislike our video now.
Yeah, we're going to get some hate sent over.
As long as you're going worldwide.
So what was the question again? Sorry.
So what team's going to win a trophy if they do, and which one?
I think it will be Chelsea FA Cup.
Oh, I think we can win the FA Cup.
Okay.
All right. Fair dues.
I mean, we both got to the semi last year.
Yeah, and that's a fair call to make. I would not disagree.
Our tails would go up when we beat you this week.
But you're in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. Do you think you can go on and win that?
Do you reckon Ole will focus on winning a League Cup?
I mean,
it's a trophy.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure where our focus is.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I don't know where your focus is either.
We need to have a focus on the league. Not like winning, but
finishing
reputation.
Higher,
I mean, come on, man. We're 15th at the moment.
Yeah, it's a pretty sad sight to see. I'm not even gonna lie. As a Premier League fan, it's a sad sight to see. It's funny though. I love it at the same time. It's not even that sad. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love it.
Yeah, if you're in your boots, it's probably funny. But I mean, if we finish like
6-1, do we get him counselling? 1-800.
I think if we want to keep our reputation, we need to make sure that we finish in a good position in the league.
Yep.
And anything else added. I mean, I think we can go deep in the cup and Champions League.
Everyone loves a good cup run as well.
Depending how we go there, that just adds respect to our name.
Yep.
Fair enough. Moving on.
Right, fifth and final question. Who will be in a better position as a club in 5 years' time from now when taking into account management and their board?
Okay, I've got a really good answer for this. I know I've took every answer so far first. I'm sorry about that. But I feel like Chelsea, and I'll tell you why. If you look at how our board signs players, Roman Abramovich is a person that is very invested in the club. I know recently he's been a bit distant because, I don't know, maybe some mafia Russian shit's been going on.
Yep.
But I feel like we're the team that would probably win more trophies in the next 5 years, would probably do more. And I'm going to back this up with a bit of evidence right now. Every time United finish out of the top 4, they go and sign big players. The season they signed Ibra, Pogba, all that, they think they finished just like 5th or something, and then they got 4th the next season. They got Champions League. Every time you guys make Champions League football, the following season you don't sign anyone crazy. Never. Like, you finished Champions League last season. Who did you sign? You didn't get Sancho. Who did you get? I thought his name now. Van der Beek. Has he even played for you guys yet? I think he's even started. Yeah, he hasn't even started.
How much you spend on Van der Beek? Do you know roughly? Don't have to be exact, man. Just like
somewhere.
Tellers is a good signing, but I just feel like going back to my original point is that when we actively sign players and we're known as a club that buys a lot of players, and I don't even care that this is a fact. It's modern day football. Yeah. You can't afford it. I'm sorry, get over it. Like, get over it. It's money now is a part of football. Whether you hate it or love it, it's part of the game. It's here to stay. Half the clubs in the Premier League are owned by billionaires. So I just feel like our team, Chelsea, in 5 years' time, will be more established and probably more worked on than a team like United.
I know I'm supposed to mediate, but when I look at Chelsea's business, they look like they have a plan.
Yeah.
Whereas United look like every signing
Well, at least
they
it looks
make,
like we try to win the league this
every
season with the
signing
signings we
United
made.
make looks like a panic buy.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like that you've had a plan
But
to.
It
Go on,
looks
you-
like
you say your-
we're more playing for now,
Yeah.
as in for the future.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's why missing out on Sancho was a big loss.
Big loss.
I think because that's the thing that I like most about our team is our youth.
But why didn't you
Yeah.
guys have a plan B? You had obviously 120 million you were knocking about for Sancho. Why didn't you have a plan B to sign someone else for?
I think Telly's was sort of our plan B. There was chat about him a couple of weeks out. We only got it done deadline day.
Genuinely think Sancho, if he came into United, do you think you would have a better season than you would? I mean, like we were talking about, yeah.
A better season, but I think if you're talking about building towards the future,
Yeah, because Luke and I were talking about overpriced English players.
Yeah, which is a fact.
Yeah. Do you?
I think one thing you got to look at is he's overpriced because he's coming from a different league.
But he's also English. That's why he's young.
Exactly.
If he wasn't English and young, if he was any foreign player, he's
Spanish,
20 million
yeah.
less. He's 20 million less. He's 30 million less at that age.
Yeah.
I mean, when they were asking for 100 million, I was like,
Well, if you're
it's
okay,
not worth that.
this
much.
is I know this is so off topic, but this is a question I've always wanted to ask: Sancho or Mbappe?
I'm going Mbappe.
Same.
I think you have to go Mbappe.
And I know he's worth more than Sancho, right? But imagine if Mbappe was English, it'd be worth fucking 100 million more than Sancho is, because they're like quite young. I think Mbappe's 21, Sancho's 19 or 18. I think 19.
He's
But
20.
is Sancho 20?
I'm pretty sure he's 20.
I know he was 19. I know he was obviously 19 at one point, but yeah. So what was the question again?
That was where you guys going to be.
Yeah. So my answer to that question is Chelsea. Your answer?
I think we can get there.
So you're saying United?
Yeah.
5 years?
Yeah.
Alright.
So you reckon
I mean-
you guys have the plan, the board that will back you, and all that? Because I know that everyone's sort of saying like, "Oh, we're never going to do much."
Everyone
with
hates
the
the Glazers. Everyone, mate, I'm surprised you're saying United there.
I think we're slowly starting to realise that a few changes need to be made.
Yeah.
If you get a new board, maybe, but mate,
It's
Glazers.
just a shift. I mean, again, I know Pogba cops it a lot, and I'm not going to cop him. I think he's a brilliant player. I mean, I can't.
I
knock
don't
him.
think he's a bad player. to be
But
honest.
I just don't think he's the right fit for our squad. If you can send him out, send
Yeah.
out someone else, make a few changes. We just need players that fit our mold.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So this is a last one answer question. Don't predict the score. United Chelsea. Who's winning? Just give us the team and
We're
do the
winning.
the score prediction.
So we're just
We're
saying.
winning.
Yeah. You're winning.
We're winning.
Okay. I'm saying Chelsea win.
Yeah. None of you reckon it could be a draw?
No. I think
There's
this is
gonna be a
That's the
winner?
I think
result
this is a
this
winner.
game.
I think this is a winning game. I
Right.
don't think there's going to be a draw. I think one of us is going to be heartbroken.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll get on to the second last topic, and
So we're
then
not doing a prediction?
we'll do the predictions right at the end,
Okay.
like usual. Yeah, and then we'll get into the predictions, and then that'll be this episode. But gentlemen, if you can flip over, I just want to quickly read some quotes out.
Yeah, you want to explain this first. Go
So
on.
obviously, as people
So
saw
we've
on
all
the
got little sheets here.
yeah,
that we're
I've
short
I've
of.
picked the 9 best quotes out of the new Arsene Wenger book, which I said on Instagram we'd speak about.
Yeah.
And a couple of people have said that they want me to talk about it on the show. So I'm going to quickly read the quotes out, and I just want you boys to react to it. So the first quote I've found is, "I read L'Equipe every day. I watch 2, sometimes 3 matches a day. I listen and wonder what's being said can be fair, why certain things happen as they do, where the truth of the game lies. And I do the same with my life. My commitments, my passion, I look at all these changes and I think about them, and yet I always see football for what it is and what it should be. A match where anything can happen. The players, 90 minutes, fantastic moves, an element of luck, talent, courage, a touch of magic, and for those who are watching these men play, the search for excitement, for a memory, for a lesson in life."
That's beautiful.
And that kind of touches on the West Ham result.
Yeah.
You know,
That's why we love the
it's like-
Premier League. It's why we love
the
football.
excitement, you know. So what do you think? Do you think that's
Is this from Wenger? Is this a
yeah,
quote
this is
from Wenger?
right at the beginning of his book. This is in order of from where I'm up to. I'm up to the Invincibles part right now.
He sums up a fan's perspective.
He sums up
Brilliantly.
how football is perfectly.
Yeah.
And I think there's no other man that I can sum up that better than anyone else.
Right.
Even just the bit on that I
Yeah.
really like is when he says, "I always see football for what it is and what it should be, a match where anything can happen." That bit right there, when he says the players, 90 minutes, fantastic moves, an element of luck.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what happened in that West
Yeah.
Ham Tottenham game, mate. He's
Yeah.
to a T.
Yeah,
Element of
exactly.
luck,
Yeah.
Players,
Yeah, a touch of magic.
touch of magic,
Exactly.
Lanzini.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Right, quote 2. For 35 years, I lived like a top athlete, obsessed by my passion. I didn't go to the theatre or the cinema. I neglected those around me for 35 years. I didn't miss a single match, a single cup, a single championship, which means living with an iron discipline, and I continue to live like that today. I get up at 5:30 a.m., do my exercises, train, eat and drink the way my former players did. This guy's in his 70s,
insane.
I think.
Yeah, this is why this man probably lived for a while as well. But if that's what I'm saying again, this goes back to the Ollie thing. But imagine having that as your manager. It's just that inspires you because you know, and maybe they don't know this, but obviously we've read the book now, so you're reading this.
Yeah.
That inspires me.
Yeah.
To think that this guy's 70 and he trains like a top athlete and he lives like a top athlete, and the way he structures his life is still the same post-retirement is insane to me.
Insane.
It's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to be the best, you have to have that attitude.
You have to have that discipline.
And he's clearly got it.
100%.
Yeah, still to this day. Right, quote 3. Years later, when I was managing Arsenal, I was twice offered the chance to take over at Real. It's terrible to have to turn down your childhood club, but I had a mission at Arsenal, a contract to honour, and I'd given my word. Besides, I must be the manager who has said no the most times. To PSG, to Juventus, to the national teams of both France and Japan, and each time was hard, but a commitment is a commitment. I'm sure that moral code is another thing I got from my childhood.
So he's a loyal person.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's what it's saying to me. He's loyal, and whatever club he takes over. And I feel like when he was at Arsenal, like he said it in the quote, he had the mission, and if he hadn't completed it yet, so I feel like he was still.
He's invested in his club.
It must suck for him because in his tenure at the Emirates, you had players like Van Persie.
Hey, sorry to cut you off, but the way you guys got rid of him was so sad. You really trashed
that was
his
a good
name.
move. It was a good move.
Yeah.
Van Persie, Nasri, Adebayor, all these players that left him. Sanchez, all these, and it kind of, if you have like that sort of loyalty and moral code, you know, for your own players to do that to you, it must really sting, you know.
It would hurt 100%.
Yeah. Quote 4, coming from my village, speaking only Alsatian, I didn't understand much at school and I didn't work at all. My parents were very busy, so I was used to running wild and my behaviour at school was very much that of a tourist. Fortunately, I had a sudden wake-up call at 15 and caught up on the whole curriculum on my own. I discovered that if I worked hard, I could achieve something big. I passed my, I don't know this word.
Bachelorette?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that
is.
Then
an economics degree at the University of Strasbourg. The subjects I chose to study allowed me to get a better understanding of how clubs worked, how they draw up their budgets, plan their investments and purchase players, and later still I took a 3-week language course in Cambridge at the age of 29 to learn to be confident in English. I was sure that would come in useful to me in football.
That's
3 weeks to learn English.
That's what I love about coaches. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, there's still a chance.
Yeah.
But that's dedication. So what he's saying there is pretty much he had no help and he learned everything by himself. Yeah. And he's saying there, work hard always prevails over talent.
Yeah. Man.
It's the same thing. It's the mindset again. He has the attitude that he wants to do well, and that he's willing to learn.
Right. And the fact, like you just said, the fact he learned a language in 3 weeks, and then at the age of 29, like, mate, it's never too late. That's gave me that passion to kind of go.
Learn something new every day.
Because my dream job, boys, is to be a coach. So that'd be insane.
I mean, reading about the uni thing. I'm about to start sport business, so
mate,
I'm hoping I can learn some of this stuff too.
Yeah, all right, well, quote 5. We lost one match, for example, on the eve of the Christmas break. I didn't go out for days, only on Christmas Eve to visit my parents, and dragged myself around like a poor wretch, a zombie. Today I'm a little ashamed of my uncompromising nature, and I still don't know why I took defeat so badly. But I know that the pain, that dark place within me, was also the place where I learned patience, endurance, and rigour. I needed each time to rediscover the resources to motivate the others while I myself was at my worst and hiding whatever I might feel. I spent the Christmas break alone at my place because I knew no one would notice. Now, to me, I was like, man, he takes a defeat.
Yeah, like a breakup.
You know, and especially, like, could you imagine how he would have taken, like, the last few seasons at Arsenal?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you
guys
been in a bad spot.
dude, you guys really, like, hurt this man, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, I know he didn't do well. I understand that he was a bit stubborn with his, the starting 11s he would put out, and I do watch Arsenal TV, so Arsenal fan TV or whatever. But mate, I just feel like that really shows that he's very vulnerable. And like after a defeat, I think every manager goes through that hurt, no matter what they say in the press. I feel like maybe some managers handle it differently, but Arsene is a very like a person to me that I guess takes it quite emotionally.
Yeah, and I must admit, towards the end of the season, in his final year, he looked ill, like properly ill.
Proper ill, yeah.
And it was like now when I see him being interviewed, like he was on the Graham Norton show, he looks healthy and happy, and he's like found life again. So it really shows how much like football plays a toll on him. All right, so the next quote is, in the autumn of '94, I was doing some analysis of the recently World Cup for the FIFA Technical Committee. It was interesting work, but not as all-consuming as a day-to-day involvement in club football. I had worked with players non-stop for years, and I was already missing coaching, the pitch, the matches. As beautiful as the Riviera was, neither the wonderful views nor the lifestyles could hold me captive, and I felt ready to leave for a new club, far away. When people ask me if it was hard to go to leave the Bay of Villafrance, I tell this story that says it all about my personality, about the man that I was then. In Monaco, I had the most beautiful view, but if I lost a match, I didn't see it. In Japan, I had a comfortable apartment, but the window in my bedroom looked out on a wall, and that was it. I didn't see that either. Yet, if I won a match, that wall would look like the most beautiful view in the world.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I want to read this book now.
Yeah.
That links up with the quote from before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
He rides the highs and lows. Of
Yeah,
his club.
100%.
Yeah. And this was back when he was 94, Monaco.
So was he coaching at Monaco?
Yeah,
or,
Monaco and Japan. He was coaching before he came to Arsenal. And the next comment is on Anelka. This is when he...
So is this about Anelka, or is this Anelka's quote?
About Anelka.
About Anelka.
And this
Bad
is,
man, played for Arsenal and Chelsea,
yeah,
by the way.
And this is when he was at Arsenal, so he's now at Arsenal and he's talking about that. The last match of the season on 11th May, we were playing away at Derby County. I planned the team with him in mind. As I boarded the bus that was taking us to Derby, I saw that he was not there. I found him in his room packing his bags. He was not happy. He felt he wasn't playing enough. He wanted to go home. We had a long conversation that was to change everything. I asked him to not give up yet. I told him he needed to carve out a place for himself with his playing skills, not with sudden bursts of brilliance, and not to run away from the first sign of difficulty. And I convinced him to play the next day. Paul Merson was injured 10 minutes into the match. I brought Anelka on, and he became one of the men of the match. In the dressing room after our victory, I found him with a huge celebratory smile on his face. I told him never to forget what had just happened in only 24 hours. The previous day, he had been thinking of dropping everything. Today, he was being featured as one of the powerhouses of the team. After that, Nicholas became a star, but that story stayed with me. At moments when certain players were massively discouraged, I knew how quickly everything could change, and I must say this has been confirmed frequently in my career.
It just shows the effect he has on a player.
Yeah,
like that.
A player that's ready to quit,
and it shows his a man-to-man relationship with players and how he speaks to them.
Yeah,
like that conversation there has changed that lad's career.
Yeah,
he went on to play for France. He went on to
Real Madrid. He was already.
But like he went on. Yeah. He was a youngster at Arsenal, wasn't he?
Yeah,
only 19,
only 17. Yeah.
So he went on and banged goals everywhere he went. So I feel like he just said that conversation he has that impact on players. I feel like that they just have that trust.
Yeah,
man, that's inspiring.
Exactly. So the second last quote was, "We had won the FA Cup again in Cardiff, 1-0 against Southampton with a Robert Pires goal, and I asked my players why we hadn't won the title. They told me I was putting too much pressure on them, that the goal of winning the Premier League without losing a match seemed unachievable to them. I believe they could do even better next season, so when the players reassembled after the summer break, I reiterated the challenge, win without losing a match and become the modern-day Invincibles."
Did you guys do that?
Yeah. The following season.
Was that I was going to say, because I know you guys were invincible, but that was the following season.
At the start of the 2003 season, I repeated it to the players what I had declared earlier. They could win the title without losing. I believed in it, and it was our goal. I remember every single player in that exceptional team. Obviously, everyone remembers the stars, the players who were the linchpins: Vieira, Gilberto Silva, Ray Parlour, Freddie Ljungberg, Robert Pires, Dennis Bergkamp, Henry, Lauren, Jens Lehmann, and Ashley Cole, who had been at the academy since he was 11 and had debuted with me at Arsenal. There was also two defenders who were fundamentally important. Sol Campbell arrived at Arsenal in 2001. He had been the mainstay at our North London rivals Tottenham, where his contract with the club was about to expire. No one could have imagined for a single second that he would come to us. To prepare for his arrival and to discuss conditions, we used to meet at David Dean's house at around 11 o'clock at night and walk around the neighbourhood, talking until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Only David, Sol, his agent Sky Andrew, and I knew that what was going on. We were gauging the impact it would have. When I called a press conference to announce the arrival of a new player and Sol Campbell walked into the room full of journalists, it was a bombshell.
Gee, levels.
Yeah.
Levels.
Yeah.
That is cool.
So
that's insane. And that season there, the one above,
03-04.
Where was that the Invincible season?
One.
And Sol Campbell was obviously a big part of that, as you just said there.
Yeah.
So you're telling me these guys would meet up at a house and just chat till
Yeah,
midnight
and no one knew.
and walk around the neighbourhood.
Yeah, and no one knew, and like not even
I
Tottenham
just
knew.
looking at your window at like 11 o'clock. No, is that Sol Campbell
Yeah,
walking with Wenger?
The final game of the season before Campbell left for Arsenal, the journos asked after a match, "Are you going to leave Tottenham or are you staying?" And Sol Campbell's like, "I'm staying." And then like,
What a
few
dog!
weeks later,
Yeah.
he was announced as an Arsenal player on a free deal.
Oh, is that all the quotes?
That's all.
Oh.
That's so far. I've got like about another quarter.
What
of the
book is
left.
that?
It's a Wenger book.
Yeah, no, but
Oh yeah, it's My Life in Red and White by Arsene Wenger. It's his new biography.
so is it a good read?
Yeah, it's been good.
You've been
so
enjoying
far.
it?
I've got I think a couple more chapters left. I've read majority of the book. I wanted to make sure that the quotes
I'm gonna keep mine if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's cool,
My little
man.
Quotes, I like that.
I wanted to make sure the quotes I chose to read out were decent.
There's some good quotes,
And
man.
there's heaps more still throughout the book, but I'm not going to read every single part out. People can go out and buy the book themselves if they want to know. But I thought, some of the things there, like learning English in like 3 weeks and all that is quite impressive,
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
that is actually insane.
100%. So, boys, that comes towards the end of the episode.
We got predictions coming
We've
up
got predictions
now, don't
coming out.
we?
And Liam, you're going to be predicting as well. However, obviously, you don't take part in the table that Luke and I are.
Oh, why you don't want me to upstage
Sadly.
you?
Yeah.
Mate, you could, so we don't want
No,
that,
I'm
alright?
not.
We don't want a
No.
newbie taking our place.
All right, so we'll go Luke first. Luke, Aston Villa leads United. What's the result going to be?
2-1, Aston Villa.
I'm going to say 3-1 to Villa. What are you going to say, Liam?
I'm gonna say 2-0. They're keeping another clean sheet, Villa.
Oh,
Villa.
respect
Ooh.
that.
West Ham versus City. Luke?
Alright. City, 4-2.
City 4-2?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 3-1 to City.
And the reason I say it is because they got Guerrero back.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-1 to City.
Nah, I'm giving it 2-1
2-1 to who?
to City.
City?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Fulham Palace.
Fulham Palace.
I'm saying 2-0 to Palace.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-0 Palace. 3-1, sorry. 3-1 Palace.
Yeah, 3-1. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, okay. United Chelsea.
Nah.
I want to go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Oh, sorry, no, Liam.
You're
You
the
go
guest.
first.
No,
yeah,
you
the
go
guest.
first, Mark.
No,
You go
guest
first.
go
Your
first.
guest goes
Guest
first.
go first.
He's trying to gauge what we'll
Yeah,
say.
I
so
know.
we
3-2.
3-2,
to
obviously.
United?
To United.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
okay.
winning. I already said we are.
Okay.
What's it, right?
3-0.
to Chelsea.
I'm getting delusional. 3-0. Chelsea.
Turn
I'm
it up.
I'm saying, fuck.
Don't you fucking dare do this to me, Mark. Look, no pressure. I'm not going to say no.
Say 3-2 to United.
Alright.
Only because they've got that confidence from beating
I do,
PSG.
yeah. I understand I understand it 100%.
You guys are shaky.
Yeah, well,
I'm nervous for it. I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous for the United game. It's going to be that game. I know I said 3-0, but that's just because I'm a delusional Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
But honestly, this game could go either way.
Where are we
Liverpool-
watching it then?
We have to watch this together. Hey.
it's
Oh,
12:30 in the
actually-
morning.
AFL Grand Final that day. I got to give it a shout out.
Oh yeah, fuck the AFL, but actually respect because it was a grand
no.
final day,
Wait,
My
they got
team-
second
and his
place.
team
and his
is there,
team's
my
in
team
it.
is
So
there.
yeah, big
Back to
respect,
back,
Richmond.
Richmond.
But go on.
That's all
All
for
right,
football.
Liverpool Sheffield. I'm going to just straight off the bat say 5-1 to Liverpool. Sheffield have not been great at all this season.
I was gonna say the same. I was gonna say 5-2.
Yep.
I'm giving them 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah.
All right, Southampton Everton.
Southampton 3-2. Oh no, sorry, it's Everton. I thought you said Brighton. Sorry.
Yeah.
Everton. I'm gonna say 3-3.
3-3.
Yeah, I don't think Everton are gonna win. I think it's gonna be another draw. I think they're gonna slow down a little bit.
I think it'll be 2-0 to Everton.
Okay.
I'm going to say 3-2
To who?
to Everton.
Everton. Cool. All right, Wolves Newcastle.
Wolves 1-0.
I'm going to say... Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 to Wolves.
Wait, sorry, change of prediction. 2-0 to Wolves.
2-0 to Wolves.
Yeah.
I'm saying 3-0. Newcastle's defence does not look good.
Yeah. 100%.
Arsenal Leicester. I'm going to go a 2-1 win to Arsenal.
1-0 to Arsenal.
I'm going to say 1-1 draw.
Okay,
Not
yeah,
bad.
that's fair enough.
I have a feeling-
Yeah, that's a fair prediction.
Jamie Vardy's back.
Fair prediction.
She didn't play
Yeah.
last week.
Brighton versus West Brom.
Brighton 2-1.
I'm going to say 1-1.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that 1-1.
1-1. Burnley Tottenham. I'm going to straight up say 4-1 to Tottenham.
4-0. I was gonna say 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah,
4-0 Tottenham. By the way,
I think 3-0.
Yeah.
Then I'll be surprised if they do what they did last week.
Chokes it again.
It will be funny. I can
Mate,
see
they're
you
4
getting
up
one.
at half time, 4-4 full time. Oh, mate.
Love it.
For the memes, I'd love it, but
Yeah.
realistically,
That's
realistically,
gonna
I
happen
see,
again.
I see it hard.
If I'm going to be potentially wearing a Chelsea top, I'm just going to have to think with my head now.
Yeah, no, yeah, I just forgot about
Yeah.
that. Hey,
So
top.
that's why I've got to back Tottenham.
Wow, I
But
win these competitions,
Is
man.
that every game?
that's every game, boys. And so, yeah, that's
Another good episode.
another good episode. Was that episode 5?
Episode 4 now.
Episode 4, boys.
Yeah, episode
Ah,
4.
right.
I'm,
First of all-
I'm tracking you.
Big shout out to
Big shout
Liam.
to Liam.
Really appreciate you
Give us
coming
a-
on.
Give us a, yeah, we'll give you a high five, bro.
Dig that up, bro.
Yeah,
Respect.
I mean, you'll be on next week as well.
on
Yeah.
next week as well,
So
but
we'll be able to get your fallout reaction
It's
to
good.
the United Chelsea.
Yeah. Guys, if you did
Thanks
stay
for
to
having
the
me.
end-
I appreciate it.
yeah, if you did stay to the end, thanks for that, Liam. Sorry. If you did stay to the end, make sure you do send Liam some love on the old Instagram
Yeah.
because it's big. It's his first time coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
I know he has done this before and some
Yeah.
other stuff, but it is hard, guys. So if there is not as smooth in some parts, take it easy on us. We're still getting used to having guests on,
Yeah.
but we do appreciate you guys listening. Any final words from you, Mark?
No, I'm just happy that football's back, and I'm happy.
I'm happy the Premier League's back, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens this weekend. It looks good.
Awesome. Don't forget, guys, make sure you're following the Instagram. Send in your questions. You will be getting shout
Don't
out.
just
Yeah.
ghost us.
Yeah, don't leave us hanging. And people that are lurking on the story, follow us.
Yeah, come on.
Hit the follow.
You know who you are.
And that's me, guys. Shouting out.
And quickly, sorry, shouting out to Brendan as well for the tune.
Yeah,
at
I was
the
about to
beginning
say
of
that. I
the
was literally about to say
show,
that.
at the outro as
He's
well.
playing
which
the
we're about to
outro as
hear.
well.
But yeah, boys, have a good week, and we'll touch base.
And we'll catch you next time.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.